Blowjobs are a no for me.
It is a skill. It is a practice skill. It is a necessary skill. Ooh,
The secret to a great blowjob is saliva, saliva, saliva.
It's important for us to learn from this because I think we lose because we beat ourselves.
You need to swallow it too.
I understand the problem here.
The people don't understand esophagus is the main player of the game.
Try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You can start by licking the dip.
I didn't understand it, but
Patrick Agyemang to Bambi or a newborn giraffe or what?
All right, welcome to Straight Red Card. Brett's furiously at work ordering some tabs as we speak. Do have to say, for F1 fans, yeah, I'm kind of excited about the new Cadillac team coming to F1 in 2026. I know this is not an F1 show, but it's nice having an actual American team. Not that the Haas team isn't American, but let's face it, they're the cheapest team in Formula One. They don't spend any money, although they occasionally overperform. I'm excited to see Cadillac and how they're going to do with all the new rules and regulations coming up next season. And if you're an F1 fan, maybe you are too. I did hear something very funny today, Brett. I hope you can hear, which is I heard somebody call somebody else, hey, don't be so self-defecating. Don't be so self-defecating. And I said, I think you mean self-deprecating, right? Oh, is that how it's said? Yes, that's how it's said. Self-deprecating, not self-defecating.
Don't just poop by yourself. Poop with others.
Self-defecating. That is a new one. I've yet to hear. But when you work in a school, you often hear things like that. And it's a good learning situation for everybody.
It's fun controlling. Speaking of schools, it's fun controlling the technology. Is that if somebody becomes unruly, you just put their device in lost mode.
You can also block a bunch of their tabs and websites too, right?
The kid was being pretty smart on as far as avoiding what the teachers could do to him as far as his device. So, just like, hey, let me see that. No, okay. In lost mode until the end of the day.
Send him into chaos. One guy we don't bring up here when we talk about music a lot is Elliott Smith, who wrote a lot of the great songs for Good Will Hunting that became really popular when the movie came out.
So composer, not necessarily a...
No, the songs. He's an indie rock guy. They used his songs for the movie. And he had some really popular songs. And then...
I'm just trying to think back to music. I just remember more of an orchestra type of stuff, unless they're like in a bar or in a fight. Yeah,
they're in there. It's sometimes...
I'll have to rewatch and pay attention.
Yeah, they fade in the background. Hard to tell. Elliott Smith was really big in the early 2000s. Kind of an emotional wreck in many ways. Had a drug problem, got off drugs. And then, he did another song later, 2003-ish, 2-ish. Everything Means Nothing to Me. Everything means nothing to me. Not an easy song for me to sing here, unless I were to sing out loud like Even Flow. Now, that's easy to do.
You're just belting. You're like,
yeah, I'm just belting, but he sings very high, but very gentle. Yes, Figure Eight, great album. Here's the weird thing. He killed himself, apparently. He offed himself. We can't say the S word here. By stabbing himself
in the Minecraft sword.
In the heart. Twice. That's just not possible. I'm sorry. So his girlfriend.
You think it was a scorned lover, huh?
Well, his girlfriend was there.
Oh,
I'm not making any accusations. All I'm saying is, first of all, stabbing yourself with whatever steak knife you used out of some sort of emotional outburst. First of all, getting through the rib cage, that ain't easy. All right, with whatever knife he was using. Number two, doing it twice. He had 2 heart punctures. Okay, pretty weird.
It's officer. I mean, I don't know what happened. He just grabbed my hand when I was cutting the steak and stabbed himself. Hand was on the knife, yes, but
I mean, listen,
I don't know. That's crazy talk.
Yeah, it's crazy. You can go look it up. Go down the rabbit hole. There's a whole what is it? When the autopsy. Yeah. He has 2 puncture marks in his heart. He stabbed himself twice in the heart. Like, okay, I know you were heartbroken or whatever, and there were no drugs as far as they could tell in his system. They did that as well. Anthony says, I knew his ex. Anthony.
He followed up by saying, yep.
What do you think about that? I always thought that was really weird. Not accusing her. I just
fell on a knife.
Pretty weird. He fell twice on a knife.
Yep, he got back up and one more time, you know.
Puncturing your heart pretty much should end it. So, do you like Morrissey? Yeah, I do. I like a lot of the older Morrissey stuff. You know, Hairdresser on Fire and all of that. Yeah, I like it. I don't like all of it, but I have probably 4 different albums with Morrissey on. I think 2 of them solo albums and 2 of them before that. I think he is a master of the unique. Nobody sang like him. Nobody ever enunciate like he did. He sounded pompous, but he was artistic. I don't know. Pretty good. Why doesn't Derek like music from early 2000s? What do you mean? I of course do. Of course I do. I like music from 99, 98,
he's
97,
he's a huge Ubersteak fan.
Who?
Ubersteak. Yeah.
Ubersteak. Yeah, not my thing.
That was your thing, yeah.
It was
your jam.
Definitely...
You rocked out. You rocked out to Ubersteak. So it's like, hey.
So Anthony says she got far away after that. Yeah, I would imagine, but I guess they never really had enough evidence to charge her. Yeah, kind of weird that, I mean, everybody said that he was a very emotional guy and he could kind of lose it. He also had a really bad problem remembering his own lyrics. And when he would play live, he would screw up a lot. So he's kind of messed up in a lot of ways, but that's not unusual. I have a shitty memory. When I played in backup for another band named Gentleman Caller, I remembered all their lyrics and I sang backup vocals for them. No problem. I could hardly ever remember my own lyrics. So I always had cheat sheets around, always laying on the floor, up on a stand, whatever. So Derek loves autotune. I fucking despise it. Fucking despise it. All right, that's all I got for this self-defecating beginning of the show. We got some midweek report to do later. And then accusations made today, or leveled at me yesterday and today, actually. One of being a
goddamn shill.
I'm a goddamn Doug McIntyre cocksucker, which is not true because I disagreed with Doug in my post. He still liked it. So what? That doesn't, just because Doug replies to it and likes it, disagreeing with him doesn't mean we agree. He just liked the fact that my disagreement was not nasty.
That's in fairness, nobody but you and Doug know that Doug liked your tweet until you just said it.
That's true. Yeah, I guess, well, why would they make that post of me and Doug holding hands? Or as Dumb and Dumber? Because I obviously...
Here's the thing. If you weren't vehemently against his stance, basically saying, hey, you completely ignored this, you twit. We'll get to this in more depth, but yeah, there's some that would just assume if you do approach it at a rational standpoint, like, hey, I don't agree with you, but here's why,
Right. And we've had many of those conversations where Doug and I have disagreed, and I just stopped calling them. I never really called them names, but I stopped being nasty, and that's okay.
At the same time, we started losing subs when you stop being nasty.
Why would I be nasty to, unlike other writers who don't reply and are afraid of having a conversation, he isn't afraid and will talk to me and will write me back, and we will have discussions about things on X and otherwise. Why would I poop all over that guy? I'm not going to. I'm going to disagree with him when he's wrong, but he's not a pussy. Unlike I could mention other people who are. I'm not going to, but he's not one.
You're gonna blackmail him, this person?
But he's not afraid. So, at least he's not afraid. That's all I'm saying. He's not afraid of having a conversation and getting disagreed on. So that's all I'm going to say. And I respect someone who will take a punch in the face or whatever, a disagreement, and move on. I think that's laudable in some ways. It's the same thing with Alexei. How many times did we disagree with him on this show? We brought him on and disagreed with him. We had an argument. It was fine. It's okay. That's what this whole forum is for, disagreeing. But you don't always have to be punching people in the nutsack. Sometimes you just graze the nutsack, right? And then you have a discussion about it. That's it.
Larry has us muted so he can listen to Ja Rule with the family. You guys just sit around and listen to Ja Rule?
I've listened to Ja Rule.
I'm just saying it doesn't necessarily seem like a family activity, but hey.
Not really.
Whatever activity you with your family is A-okay with me. Well,
yeah.
If you have a family-friendly activity, regardless of what it is, more props to you for doing it with your family, hanging out. It's awesome. Because a lot of families don't have that family time, if you will, and I think that's a growing issue in our society.
Absolutely. Czar says better to suck Doug than Grant. I'm not sucking either, frankly. And they don't have to talk to me. The fact that Grant came on our show many, many years ago and that was not in a reply to us. That was in reply to Bill, right?
Yeah.
So he was coming back to reply to Bill on Big Soccer because Bill ripped him a new asshole. And we had Bill on a show and he ripped Grant a new asshole. And then Grant came on to defend himself. That's all fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's all part of the discussion. And we'll get to this too. But, I think we have a pretty good track record of holding people's feet to the fire. So I'm not worried about it at all. Certainly not worried about it. But if somebody even tries to lump us in as a shill, that is the biggest joke in the world. That's got to be near the biggest joke.
I feel like when we do actually get Herc on, we're going to have to let him know that we're going to address the U.S. Open Cup.
Absolutely.
Let him know ahead of time so we can prep and be ready for, instead of feeling like he's getting thrown to the wolves. Yeah.
And by the way, rest in peace. R.I.P. to Grant Wall.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck happened to Herc?
No. Herc's fine. Eldon Hassick says for $2, fun fact, I saw Ja Rule at Bluebird in P-Town. Oh, my God.
Ja Rule with the Bluebird?
You would think, that venue holds maybe 400, 500.
If you're lucky, yeah.
Yeah,
that's Graham shit, man.
It is. That's really packed to have 400 in there. So, I mean, I suppose, hell, my band played the Bluebird at least 50 times. So, it's not that big. It really isn't. All right. What else we got, Brett?
Mm-hmm. So I've been last couple shows I've been pulling up a bunch of food stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think that these people posting food stuff are really just posting the dumbest things in order to get guaranteed clicks and views. So that way they can monetize their Twitter handle.
Sure. Because
everybody's going to respond to it.
Mm-hmm.
So let me pull this one up. Derek, I got to ask a serious question here, but does anyone still cook a roast with potatoes, onions, and carrots? Does anybody really do this anymore?
Probably somewhere in Latvia. I don't know. It's peasant food, but it works if you're really hungry. I don't know.
I will make this once every couple of weeks.
Okay. See? There you go.
Oh, it's fucking delicious. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Was it in the crock pot?
100%. Yeah.
There you go. All right. I don't see anything wrong with that. Some
family meal. You set it you set it before you go to work. You come home, you have a fresh cooked meal.
Fingerling potatoes.
Ready to roll.
You got, Carrots do nothing for me.
Those are full-fledged carrots that are cooked. Hey, they kind of go together with the roast, though. When you think of roast, you think of onions, carrots, potato, and the roast. That's what it is.
Onions, I like potatoes. The carrots do add flavor to the liquid, though. I do like that, and it makes a broth with the vegetable broth along with the onions and the beef. Broth, yeah. The beef coming off, it makes for a great sauce too. So the carrots do add character to a sauce. I don't like eating carrots straight up, but cooked carrots, I like raw ones, but not cooked.
Yeah. So today was my rush to get through the leftover turkey day because it's gonna go bad. And I got my turkey soup and stuff like that. So I made the kids eat turkey soup today. Then I had to get going. It's like, so I'm leaving work. And I knew I had to stop to get dog food. And I was planning on stopping at Costco because you get the best value for dog food there. Mm-hmm. Got a 50-pound bag for like $34. It's the way to roll. And I just ended up picking up a couple other things. Ended up spending about $230 there. Just when I was really going for dog food. Easy to do. I know. But I was walking through the aisles looking for, especially with my two people in my family being gluten-free, I was looking for very specific type of stuff. And I could have easily spent a significantly more amount of money there. But it's all gluten-free stuff I'm getting. So I stumbled across the aisle that has all the brats and stuff in it. And they have these the Kirkland brats. They're just plain brats, nothing special about them. Mm-hmm. But they have 14 of them for $5 or $4.95 or whatever it was.
Not bad.
Oh, for 14?
Yeah, that's a lot of brats.
I bought 3 packages of those. Brought them home. I made dinner for everybody. I did laundry. I did dishes. And then I helped carve pumpkins. And then I took, what is it? 14,
today?
14, 28, 42. I took 42 brats and I vacuum sealed them. Put them in the freezer. Just in time to get down here to start the show.
I love the Brett loves
fucking sausage. Exhausted.
Brett loves sausage. No, that's a lot of work, dude. Yeah, that's a lot of work, man. So
I mean, like, come on. I mean, I got like 8 different packages of like 4 or 5 brats in the each. So I'm just like, that's meals upon meals.
I hope they're good. I've never had the Kirkland.
They're adequate. They're nothing special.
Okay.
But for $5 for 14 of them, they're decent size. I mean, yeah, I can't go wrong.
I mean, it's like when you have kids, you're like, fuck them. I'm buying goddamn Domino's.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Noble Romans. Here you go. They don't know any better.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, the brats that you can buy at any of the stores here are just not that great. I mean, they're okay. They're brats. They're not bad. But they're not great brats. I want to go up to Michigan. There's a specific butcher shop that I go to that's on the way to both my in-laws and my side of the family's house. Just stop there, wait an hour or two in line with your ticket to get all your meats. And they make these brats, and they're fucking delicious. And they've ruined me for brats everywhere else.
Yeah, you could go to Aldi's, the German brats. They're really good. Aldi's is a German grocery company. Yeah. So go there if you want good brats that are relatively fairly priced. Mm-hmm. All right, what else we got?
Sticking with that stupid food posts on Twitter now. Derek, are you going to eat or are you going to pass on this?
Well, I'm just going to eat it.
I'm going to fucking eat it. Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't I eat that?
A little piece of steak with some eggs and some potatoes?
Yeah, who says? Is that the question? Eat
or pass?
Oh,
who's going to pass?
This is fucking stupid.
Food pleasers. Who's going to pass on that?
People who don't eat meat.
I might change the eggs because I'm not a huge sunny side up. But I'm not. If it gets put in front of me, if it gets put in front of me, I'll still eat those. I mean, I'll never make those for me, but I'll still eat them.
You just burst the sunny sides up on the steak and you're mushing them in with the potatoes. You're ready to go.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would do. Yes.
Yep, absolutely. That's like a bite of everything on every fork, right? You eat a little steak, a little egg, and a little potatoes. Bam, you're ready to go. That's a damn good breakfast. Says
it's a damn good
Jeremiah Cole. He's absolutely right.
That steak is overcooked.
Could be. Hard to tell from this angle.
I mean, just judging by it, I mean, it's a thin steak. It's a thin steak.
It is.
So it's very likely to be overcooked.
Very, very much so. Yep.
So I don't know. I may stop doing these foodie posts because they're all dumb.
They're pretty dumb.
Hey, here's a nice steak. Ketchup's not available. What are you going to eat with it? Who the fuck's going to put ketchup on steak?
Yeah.
It's funny. Here's the thing. I asked my dad that. I said, yeah, these people are posting pictures of steaks and saying, hey, if ketchup isn't available, what else are you going to put on it? I'm like, who the fuck puts ketchup on steak? My dad goes, well, I put ketchup on steak sometimes.
No!
I'm like, no, you fucking don't. He goes, well, I mean, it's like if I have like French fries off to the side, there's ketchup. I might take the steak and just lather it on the leftover ketchup. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Keep that in the closet, Dad. All right.
Don't tell anybody. I'll keep it a secret, except for the 78 people that are currently watching and the 1,000 people who might watch this afterwards. But don't tell anybody that.
Right.
So dumb.
I did see Larry's already doing Billy Joel stuff in the comments. Uptown Girl. Yeah, it's an all right song. I mean, yeah. I don't dislike it.
I feel like Billy Joel stuff is sort of like the catchy as you're driving, not really paying attention to it, just bobbing your head like. But I'm not buying his albums. I'm not listening to him with my family.
Well, that song in particular is about a girl who lives in the uptown who starts.
I remember the music video
having sex with a guy in a guy living in the working class neighborhoods, if you will. So
cigarettes rolled up on a sleeve, very greasy.
You remember the video?
100%, yes.
Yeah. Hall & Oates, Man Eater, that was a good one. I mean, it's corny as fucking hell. She's a man eater. Daryl Hall, John Oates have way better songs than that one. Just saying, way better. That one is okay. It's a little Rich Girl. I like that one. Do like that one, Larry. That's a really good. She's a rich girl, bitch girl. I love that song. That's a good song. I think that's in the background.
In fairness, I mean, aren't most rich girls kind of bitchy?
I'm pretty sure that's in the background vocal.
That's right.
She's a rich girl, bitch girl. And you know she don't. She can rely on the old man's money. She can rely on the old man's money. Yep. That's a great one.
You got to pass censors because he just said, no, it's just an echo of rich girl. I mean, come on.
Kind of.
You can write that shit, yeah.
I think they only do it once in the song, and it's the very end, and you can barely hear it, but it's there.
So radio stations just sort of cut the song off early?
No, they didn't hear it. But if you listen closely, it's in there. Yep.
So sticking with the foods, even though I said this was the last food one, this isn't quite the same kind of food thing. But
all right,
I love it when people when people, especially the food industries, have a sense of humor. You've seen like Wendy's chiming in on Twitter to people, and they're roasting people, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's great." And then you have a couple other people who are trying to piggyback off that, and you're like, "Dude, you're not Wendy's. Shut the fuck up."
Mm-hmm.
Well, Cracker Barrel came out. Now, Cracker Barrel is in the news over the summer.
Yep.
Deciding to just change the logo to this very MLS style of logo where you just dumb it down and remove all the authenticity of shit.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, I have to say, I don't know how many times you've been to Cracker Barrel, but every time I've gone there over the many years, and I haven't gone there very often, those motherfuckers are always out of their fried chicken. Always.
Always the first thing to go, right?
Yes. I go there specifically for fried chicken.
Dude, I don't know if I've ever went there for anything not breakfast, to tell you the truth.
I've gone there for lunch once or twice and for dinner.
I mean, I know it's open beyond breakfast, but I'm just saying I never contemplate going to Cracker Barrel outside of breakfast.
So here's what happens. I traveled a lot many years ago, and I would get a hotel, and the only place nearby was like a McDonald's or a Cracker Barrel in walking distance from my hotel room. I went to Cracker Barrel, right?
You mean for like an after breakfast meal?
For
if
dinner.
You had to choose between the two, yeah, sure. I'll do Cracker Barrel lunch and dinner, sure.
For dinner, I went, and I wanted the fried chicken. No, we don't serve fried chicken this time.
Well, they don't. What? That late at night?
It wasn't that late. It was dinner time.
No. I'm saying they said we don't serve fried chicken this late at night.
Well, one time they said they didn't serve it that late, and the other time they said we only serve that for lunch. And the other time they said we're out of chicken. That happened like 2 or 3 times. This happens in many hotels. In fact, there's one in Indianapolis near the hotel that I would stay in that hotel before I'd leave the next morning sometimes. And it was always out of chicken. What the fuck is wrong with you people? But it was either that or McDonald's, and I didn't want to go to McDonald's. So I went to fucking Cracker Barrel. All right. Anyhow.
No, I mean, I can understand the maybe being out of chicken. Maybe, maybe there's just a huge surge of people who wanted chicken. But only serving fried chicken during lunch? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
I don't know. I am not a Cracker Barrel expert. I am not. I just know I've been there at least 7 times in my life. BJ's also won't give you fried chicken for dinner. Okay, well, maybe that's just a thing.
I never really. I mean, I guess I'm assuming we're not talking about the wholesaler BJ's. We're talking about the actual restaurant BJ's.
No, he means blowjobs. Also, won't give you fried chicken for dinner.
Well, right. That's the least they could do. Why they're giving you a blowjob? Serve you some fried chicken. Why not?
Do you mind if I eat some fried chicken while you taketh me? All right.
This way, both ends are happy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, jumping back on. So Wall Street Mav says, wait, they're really attaching a Cracker Barrel to the East Wing?
Yeah, no.
Here it is. And Cracker Barrel chimes in and says, you probably don't want us anywhere near remodel.
Good point. They had a good self-deprecating or self-defecating
moment here,
humor. Yes. All right, for the almost 100 of you here already, thank you. We're about to actually start the soccer show soon.
We are about to start. Now Jack Pinato's on our balls about, hey, we're 25 minutes or 30 minutes in, and it's not even. We're still talking about food.
We did start with some soccer, right? So
a little bit, yeah. A little synopsis, I guess, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, what do we got here? More Liverpool losing.
Coach talking about having to get recertified.
Ernie Slut.
One of my frustrations is that I don't know if it's the same in England, by the way, but we as managers, we have to get points to keep having our badge. Is that the way you say it? So to stay a manager in Holland, you need.
I love. First off, I love how he's speaking very cleanly in the sense that I can really understand it and all. But he also, because I would sit there and think like, well, maybe he is from he's speaking very, very clean English, and yet he says like, wait, hold on, is this the word I'm looking for? But it's just funny that usually like that type of thing you'd hear like a thicker accent on it, but he's very clean. But
when will we all come to the conclusion that the federations, the coaching groups are absolutely sticking it in our assholes for money? This is all bullshit. The fact that a coach like Ernie Slot, or can you think of Alex Ferguson having to get points on his license every year? He has to go take new trainings. He should be teaching the trainings. The fact that Ernie Slot has to go and get points to keep his license up to date is a fucking ripoff scheme. A ripoff scheme, people. This is happening in all walks of life, whether it be architecture or coaching. It's the same thing. They all rip you off. Education. Okay, they all rip you off. You've been a teacher for 30 years. Okay, you should be teaching the class because you're a world-class teacher. But no, you've got to go get your license points and shove out some money, shovel out some cash to these fucking corrupt organizations that do little and serve little. Except, all right, now you're a 30-year-old vet teacher and some 28-year-old is going to teach you something new about education. Maybe. But maybe at this point, it should be their choice whether they want to get more educated or not. I mean, it's just a ripoff scheme, pure and simple, and has been 4 years in the United States as well.
Talking about even in technology, quite frankly, once you get certified in something, you have. Depending on what you get certified in, you either have to get recertified in that within 3 years, or get a certification in something else that's within the same field just to keep that active. So like if you're certified, let's just say you take a certified for, let's just say Java. I'm just making something up here. You pass it, you have it on your resume. You're like, hey, I passed this test. I know what I'm doing. But you don't recertify. You don't do another thing. Then that certification is null and void.
It's bullshit. Listen, Brett, if you have your IT job and let's just say you start sucking at your job 10 years later because you just never kept up with any of the fucking modern technology and all the new things happening, and your school's bought a bunch of new equipment and you don't know how to use it because you just don't fucking care and you didn't care to keep up with it, then they'll fire you. It's that simple. And hire somebody who does know how to do it. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's so stupid. I can't get over it.
As an example, I mean, using technology as an example here, if let's just say you were coming up through the 70s and 80s and you really were heavy based on mainframe computers, and then all of a sudden everything went to the personal computer, everything went to PC, and everybody started going away from mainframes, and you didn't go with it, and you're like, well, I've been working in technology for 20 years. Well, technology passed you up. That's different.
Yes.
That's different than saying, hey, I've been a professional coach in the top, let's just say the top 5 leagues for the last 15 years. What the fuck do I need to go and do another course? I don't understand this.
I should be teaching the course. Fuck you. And here, just take your fucking money and go away, you pricks. That's what needs to happen. All these fucking dumbass organizations are just ripping people off asunder. And nobody's saying or fighting back. They're just bending over and grabbing their ankles. Time for that to stop. It really needs to stop. These people, most of them, if you've ever talked to anybody at these professional organizations, whether it be architectural organizations or otherwise, are morons. Most of them don't know dick about their own profession. They're just taking your money. You know more because you're on the job. They're there as consultants and people refereeing your fucking license. They don't know dick about the profession anymore. Or if they do, they're making it up as they go along and making you learn about it. Fuck them. All right. Sorry if I wasn't clear enough about that.
Every 3 years you need to
every 3 years it's
do
just
some
like
schooling.
technology.
Schooling, is that the right word? Education, yeah. To stay manager. I find this ridiculous because I learn every single day. I improve every single day. I don't need to go to a course to learn if you are working.
Yeah. So he's on the job training. What is this class going to do for me?
So many of the greatest architects learned their craft in the early 1900s and 1800s by being apprentices to other architects. They didn't have to take a fucking course. They didn't even have to go to fucking college. Suck my dick on all your accreditations. Fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about, and you certainly don't know anything about fucking soccer more than Ernie Slot does. Or Slot, sorry. I just made up his first name. All right.
So I don't know if it's the same in England, but every 3 years we need to do this. Otherwise, you cannot stay. But if you've done it, do you need to every time educate refreshing courses? Yeah. Now, for me, every day is a refreshing course.
Absolutely.
So I'm a bit surprised that we need to do this.
It's just like, if you don't get recertified, then you can't qualify to be a coach anymore. It's like, what? I've been coaching for 15 years. What? I don't understand.
Yeah, and maybe if you're just a bad coach, you'll get fired and nobody else will hire you. That's how this works. And by the way, if somebody wants to pluck some football coach in the United States to come coach their fucking team in the goddamn second division, oh, wait, does that sound like a soccer show? They should be able to do it if they want to. The guy doesn't need a license. If he sucks, he sucks. He gets fired. It's that simple. This is bullshit. There has to get a bunch of other people who do nothing for a living get to make money off of your profession. People need to stand up and stop this stuff. In every major profession needs to stop getting ripped off by these government and state approved fucking organizations just basically stealing money out of your pocket. so they can sit around in a desk job all day. Fuck them. All right. God damn
Jeremiah
it.
Cole says, I wonder how much money is involved with these licenses.
A lot. A fucking lot. Trust me. Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. In the United States, it's absolutely absurd how much money they take in from coaches of all levels just to get your DCBA, whatever fucking license it is. It's dumb. It's dumb. Like, if on a professional level, you should be able, if you're the owner of whatever MLS team, you should be able to hire fucking goddamn Linus from the Peanuts to coach your team if you so desire. All right. And if it doesn't work out, fire Linus.
That's true. I mean, you're right. You did mention the TV show. Mind you, said second division, but Ted Lasso did come to England and coach an English.
And he didn't have a fucking license, so that
no
movie
yeah,
could have never have happened in real life.
In real life, yeah.
Yep.
Jackie D says, did you see the NWSL manager that said she used Chat GPT to pick her formation?
Well, then she's not doing her job, and if her team sucks, she will get fired. And that's okay. If she's going to use Chat GPT, that's fine. If it works, great. If it doesn't, she's going to get fired. Simple as that. And that's the way it should be. I don't think that's a great way to pick your lineup, by the way, or your formation. God damn, have some self-confidence.
There were at times where I wish Berhalter and even Poach would have let ChatGPT pick their lineups, but
I don't know about that. But maybe, yes. I don't know about it. Yes.
Hey, ChatGPT, should Giovanni Reyna be in the starting lineup? Well, the last couple games that he's played for us, he's scored 2 goals and 2 assists in meaningful matches. So,
yeah, well, maybe. Or
that's how I would look at it.
Chat would they would say, well, Reyna hasn't played for a club for basically 3 years now, so yeah, no, he shouldn't be on the team because
there's not that type of reasoning in there. He might say, hey, the Chat GPT might say that there's hey, he hasn't really played for his club team for 3 years, but when he has played for the U.S., et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, you're making your own chat. Like, you could program your AI if you wanted to, Brett, to think that way, and I could program my AI to think a different way, and Doug McIntyre could do his own as well. Everybody, I mean, all AI is what we put in it. That's it. That's okay. And we allow it to learn in a certain way too, but that's also what we program and put in it. It's only doing what we give it access to do. It's
I agree if you flood it with hey, Gio hasn't played in this match, Gio hasn't played in that match, Gio hasn't played in this match. That eventually be like, yeah, he hasn't really been in this match. But if you just ask a random question randomly, like right now, if you asked Grok, should Gio dye his hair again? He's not Grok's not programmed to tell you yay or nay. We'll say, yeah, Gio dyed his hair blonde this time and dyed it this time. Same.
A really,
you can work your way there.
A really super woke AI, if you ask it, should the men or the women
purple
national team,
purple?
No, should the men or women's national team represent the United States at the next Men's World Cup? Yeah, it might pick the women if it's been programmed to.
Well, I mean,
women win more. You know, who knows what rationalization they're going to use?
Well, I mean, you've seen the people who are like, hey, insert AI here. Create some photos of the founding fathers, and then they show the founding fathers, and they're incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, yes, to your point, you can alter the algorithm, especially if you're the person who runs the AI.
Yes, absolutely. So you can't trust it. Basically, That's what I'm coming down to.
You know who else you can't trust?
Guessing.
You can't trust. You can't trust the people in Turkish football. Apparently.
Okay. Oh yeah, more scandals here. 571 active referees are registered in professional leagues. 371 have a betting account. Yeah, and 152 are actively betting, placing bets. I guess it depends on what they're betting on. They better not be betting on soccer. I mean, if it's not soccer, I don't think I'm that bothered. But if they're betting on basketball, which is also really big in Turkey, I got no problem with that.
So. Yeah, and that's the point I was going to make too when you're talking about the accounts and stuff. I mean, I mean, just monitor their accounts. I mean, I know that you shouldn't. I mean, at that point, I mean, like, if you're the Turkish football league, are you going to be like, I really want to devote time for us to monitor what they're betting on?
Yeah, I mean, I would be more concerned with the last dot. 42 referees each bet more than 1,000 football matches. Those are the dudes you need to worry about. The other guys betting on basketball or tiddlywinks or cricket or
what if the 42 refs were betting on MLS matches?
That's fine. It's not in their own country.
Right.
You know, they don't.
That's the thing, though, too. You'd have to even if we're gonna allow it and dive into it, you're gonna have to dive in even further and further and further. Because I mean, hey, you can't bet on. I guess you could just make the sweeping statement, say, hey, if you're gonna bet, you can't bet on anything football, anything.
Well, that's true. Although if those 42 referees are betting on Champions League games and they're not coaching or refereeing Champions League games, that's going to be on you to make that decision.
Maybe they're third division officials.
Yes, or they're lower. They're youth officials.
Yeah.
So,
well, it says professional leagues in professional leagues.
All I can say is this report offers zero enough context for me to freak out about it or have any kind of weirdness about it at all. You give me more info, and then we can talk.
Who do the referees bet on is what Final Third Tale said.
Thank you. Otherwise, this is a massive nothing burger, and I don't want to hear about it anymore. Yeah. And I don't care, and I don't know why anybody else cares until we get some context. What are they betting on? Are they betting on games they are refereeing? Then we got a problem. Are they betting on games they have some influence over? Then we got a problem. It's a problem. Now, how you want to manage that, you should already have those rules already stated in your refereeing manual and all those courses those guys have to take to maintain their licenses. They should already know what the rules are. It shouldn't be that confusing. So if they're breaking them, bust them. Period. End of story. End of story indeed. No, not needed to even be discussed. Good luck, Turkey or Turkey on this issue. I don't care.
It seems like such a hassle to have to monitor it. So like either you're monitoring saying, hey, no betting period while you're an official across the board. I don't care if it's basketball, your daughter's ballet recital or whatever, no betting on anything. Or are you going to really, again, are you going to have somebody auditing them saying, okay, well, they're betting on basketball and they're betting on the Olympics.
Yeah.
It's okay. But this guy over here is betting on football, but it's MLS. It's okay.
Yeah.
Are you really going to do that? I don't know if they would.
U.S. men's national team only, I think imperfectly quotes Messi here by saying Lionel Messi spoke on the, no offense to you, my brother, Lionel Messi spoke on the changes he'd make to Major League Soccer, saying the league will only reach its true potential if spending restrictions are softened. That is not what he said. He said he wanted them ultra soft. Actually, no restrictions is what he said. Literally. None. Not soften. None. Here's what he said. Well, for starters, I mean, I don't know how I can do a Messi in English, but without the starters, everything should have the opportunity to bring in the players and sign whoever each team wants without limitations or rules. That's not softening. That's no limitations or rules for players to bring them in.
Hold on. That's also dumb because what league out there has no limitations or rules for players bringing in? Now, mind you, the teams can go out and scout and pay whatever they want, I guess, accordingly to the rules and regulations. But everybody has limitations.
Everyone. In Europe, they got financial fair play. The NFL has a salary cap. So does NBA. So does baseball. Everybody's got some sort of cap. You can't spend yourself into oblivion. And again, no offense. I just clarifying that that's not what Messi said here. He didn't soften shit. He said get rid of anything, including soft shit. I don't want nothing. I want no limitations, no rules. You should be able to bring whoever you want in. I don't think that today all teams in the United States, all clubs, have the power to do that. And I think that if they were given the freedom, many more important players would come and help the growth of the United States, and it would become like the old NASL where the Cosmos bought all the greatest players and nobody else could really afford it, but they spent anyhow, and the league went bankrupt. No, there's got to be some sort of cap. Now, the cap right now is so ridiculous low. It's so low, it's stupidity, right? The way things are set up now are not good. They need to be balanced out somewhere.
And it's like one of those things that I would imagine at some point. I mean, let's just say they removed all the restrictions, and you get the teams can spend whatever they want, however they want, whoever they want.
The Reds would be
if MLS. I'm just saying, if MLS, well, not when these teams come to play, I guess they'd come over there. They'd sell out of the football stadium.
Well, the Reds would be fucked because their team's not going to spend.
Sure. I agree. No, I agree with that. They'd be fucked basically in the sense that they're not going to win shit
ever again. Right.
But I'm just saying, when those powerhouse teams come by, man, they will sell out of that 70,000, 80,000 seat stadium. That's good. But no,
yeah.
Here's the fact of the matter is that MLS, if they did that, they would have to stop basically helping out. What is it when like when we have our gas is partially paid for by the government. What is it called? What's that called?
Oh, the taxes?
Starts with an S.
Surtax?
No. But you know what I'm talking about. The government helps us keep our value, or the value of our gas lower than, say, a lot of the world.
Oh, okay.
Subsidy, yes. Subsidy. Basically, the MLS would have to stop adding a degree of subsidies towards the teams. The teams would be able to spend whatever they want.
Well, you mean Cam and Tam.
If Miami wants to spend $100 billion on players, they're not going to make their fucking money back on that. Regardless of how good the team is.
The teams might spend themselves into oblivion. Listen, is the current cap ridiculous? Yes. Should it be double, triple, something reasonable? Yes. But no, you don't just take down all of that. We're not ready for all of that yet. But because, again, we saw it. I was there. I watched the NASL as a kid go into oblivion. And we don't need to do that. But we do need to make it more, at least a chance that you could build a team. Now, the other thing that people won't take into account if you tear down all the limitations is how many young Americans are going to get to play in a league full of fucking superstars from other leagues. Yeah. Ever consider that? You take down all the spending block. Well, sure, they'd end up on the Revs and the teams that don't want to spend anything, like fucking Kansas City. They'll have all the Americans. But teams like the Sounders and teams that want to spend, like Atlanta, there are teams out there that want to spend. They might be full of just foreign players, unless you put like, hey, you got to start 3 Americans on every game, which we don't even require now. So good luck with that. I mean, there are barely any American players, young American players starting now. They're very few and far between. You open this shit up 100%, you will see no Americans starting, or very, very few of them start, even fewer, because they're just going to fill their team with fucking Argentinians, Brazilians, who are going to get paid more than they get paid playing in Argentina, which we're already doing to an extent now. It's going to get worse. So, I mean, open it up if you want to, but do expect that. I don't know if our youth systems are ready to compete with that to the degree that we're going to see Americans be able to compete with the players they bring in.
Our academies will fail hardcore.
Well,
especially at those super clubs? I mean, you're not gonna be bringing in homegrown players, and they're not going to be developing. Now, mind you, they may not be developing and growing at the rate you'd want per se right now, but they're definitely not going to be growing at that point in the future.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be flocking to USL is going to be the thing.
Stray Catnip says the EPL has a homegrown rule. 8 English players must be on a roster. I know they do, but it was funny. I can't remember which game I was watching with my dad, and he asked me, well, how many players on, I think it was Man City right now on the field are English? I said 2. too. He's like, that's crazy. We're watching the English Premier League. I said, Dad, if you want to watch English players play English soccer, you go to EFL League One or the Championship.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of these teams, you just got a small handful of English guys playing. Unless you're talking about the bottom of the table. Then you get more.
Very few Americans already.
You got it. So it might benefit.
You could open up the floodgates as far as salary is concerned, but then keep the restrictions as far as the number of international slots and stuff like that. But then the problem is you get around that by having green cards.
Yes, you do. In our country, you've been playing in MLS for a few years. You get a green card. You count as a domestic player. So that's why we are seeing fewer and fewer. It's not increasing the number of young Americans getting a chance in MLS. It's not. So it's bad right now. So you open the floodgates of money, and I'm not saying the cap shouldn't be raised because it should be. But if you make no rules whatsoever, you can kiss the young American players, most of them, goodbye. They'll all be playing in USL, all of them. And that's where you can go to watch them. Just saying. So there are things to take into consideration if you want limitless, no rules, which is what Messi said. No rules, no limitations. So that's it. I'm done ranting on this one.
I think there are very important foundation in place where teams are prepared and want to grow. I think it's something to do. Basically just leading on to what we were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, no. I don't want to just open the floodgates. There has to be other restrictions because again, it has. I don't know. We have to be developing players.
We have
Otherwise,
to be.
The American players will fall behind.
Yep. And what's the point in investing in your development, your MLS academies, if you know that you're just going to go out and buy a bunch of Argentinians and the best handful of young Colombians or Uruguayans? Well, you don't need those guys anymore. You're getting the best from South America. The young youth from South America, you really don't need young Americans anymore unless they're exceptional. I'm not saying some of them wouldn't get through because there's always a Ricky Davis on every Cosmos team, right? No, there really wasn't. It was kind of Ricky Davis, and that was the only big American player playing on the Cosmos. So
I mean, the argument would end up being that the American players and the American academies and stuff like that need to pick up the pace. Problem is that the issues behind the youth development in this country is the issue.
We're only 20 years in.
There's no incentive. No. In general, not just MLS, but there's no incentive unless you're MLS. There's no incentive really to invest in youth development across the United States because let's say you build up and you create another Pulisic. Well, then MLS or a European team is just coming knocking. Well, the European team will at least pay that club, but if MLS ends up picking him up and then MLS sells him, that other team's not getting shit.
Yeah, so if you do develop a phenom, they're not staying in MLS anyhow. They're going to Europe.
Well, that'd be if I was part of a major academy right now that's not connected to an MLS team, I would absolutely be looking at my players, and if MLS sites came and knock, and I'd be like, no, hey, we've got contacts in Europe. I will absolutely send you to Europe before I send your ass to MLS because I won't see a goddamn cent if you actually make it a pan out. And
right, well, they gotta have a passport, but yeah.
Well, I mean, just at that point, what's the point of all the other academies that aren't MLS based to really invest their time and money unless you're obviously just charging the players the money because at that point you're just paying the coaches and the administration. It's not about investing at that point.
You got to be careful what you wish for sometimes.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Oh yeah, more of that. Same thing.
Well, this is a quote from Jason Christ.
I firmly believe that if you put Lionel Messi, on the worst team in Major League Soccer, they would still be the worst team. Who is the worst team in Major League Soccer? Do we know?
New England, LA.
It's one of those two. You're not telling me that doesn't change LA? I don't think they're going to be the worst team. I'm sorry. Not if Messi's on LA.
LA they may be scraping into the playoffs. They may be 7th or 8th or whatever. 9th.
I think.
But they're not going to be the worst?
No way. But it's Jason Christ. He hasn't got anything wrong or right, excuse me, since RSL. And that was fucking 10 years plus ago. He's been wrong about everything. He's been a horrible coach wherever else he's ever gone. Yeah. He's just been flat wrong about everything he's done and said, for the most part, since RSL. When he
Kevin, you watch your mouth. We're still in the playoffs.
They are in the playoffs, yes. So,
no, I thought this is the. I mean, obviously, he's not going to take the worst team and make them, Supporter Shield contenders.
But they're not going to be the worst team anymore.
But it might be, though. He might elevate the rest of the players who might be adequate players, but just aren't panning out for whatever reason.
Also depends on the coach.
I still don't believe it'd be Supporter Shield, but I think adding him into any team would make them contenders for a playoff spot.
Absolutely. You get a good coach. You put Bruce back in control of the Revs and give him Messi. Yeah, I think they're probably making the playoffs.
Revs were fine. The Revs were fine without Messi with Bruce.
Yes.
They only went to shit after they got rid of Bruce.
Bruce kind of winner wherever he goes in MLS.
Yeah.
It's just what he does. Okay.
All right. So,
hard to believe this show's working me up so much today.
Herc wants to know if this is dripping or tripping.
Okay.
They think Kit's all over. Says U.S. World Cup goalkeeper shirt. It could be one for the ages.
No, that's too busy. And is that a mannequin? I hope it's a mannequin. Yes.
It's AI. I'm hoping it's AI.
It's freaky looking.
It's very his way his arms are set up. I'm hoping that's fake, but
yeah, he's like a scarecrow and shit. I don't know what's up with that. It's tripping. Sorry.
How many goalkeepers are, unless it's winter, of course, how many goalkeepers are really wearing long sleeve jerseys these days? Is that a thing now? Are they still doing that? I thought they were wearing more short sleeve stuff.
Oh, yeah, that shit that women wear over their shirts? That little thing.
This thing right here, yeah. The little cardigan or whatever that thing. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
That is
my daughter has one of those things, yeah.
That is so. Oh my God!
But the thing doesn't continue in the back. The stripe. What? Oh no, that's because it's a star.
It looks like a little man bra. It's
supposed to be a big star. Yeah.
It's so superfluous. It's bad. It's really bad. It's frivolous too. It's just like a bunch of splatter gun. And you look like a woman already wearing that. And no offense to women at all, because I love you, but that is not what a man would wear. I don't know what that is, but that looks like either some sort of weird cardigan.
Like 1950s white Suburban.
Yes, white Suburban.
Reno.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that is. That's you put it over top of your dress. You've got a dress on. You put it over to cover your shoulders. Yeah.
Back when women used to talk like this. Hi, my name is Sylvan Roosevelt. And I'm here to talk to you about this and so, and how to apply your bra correctly. Also, after that, we will talk about contraception. Yeah, that's when people wore that shit, when people talk like that. All right, this is shit. It's not even tripping. It's straight up garbage. Garbage. Needs to go.
Yeah, no, it's not. Not a good shirt. If this is in fact, hopefully this is not. What are our boys going to be wearing in between the pipes?
I don't know who came up with it, but I got an idea that it's somebody who really thinks highly of themselves in the artistic and material world. I am a material.
Ryan, I don't know if this is technically real.
I hope not.
The way that the badge is actually overlapping the black, what is to be a star.
What is that called? An overcoat?
What the actual cardigan you're talking about?
Yeah,
I initially said cardigan, but I don't think that's what that is.
No, but it's horrible.
I'm not prepping up to have a cardigan.
No, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Man, that's terrible. TRBL. And there is no logo on here. Like you don't see like the
this
Nike.
Is not real.
Like that. It can't be real. No, this has to be made.
Herc, give us real ones, please. Don't give us these terrible ones. Thank you.
He's setting us up.
It's a shawl. A shawl.
I thought a shawl was like for your head.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's something else. Shawl. It's a shawl. She's right. That chick on Little House on the Prairie used to wear those things all the time. It's a shawl.
Okay.
Yeah. 1800s.
I mean,
all the way to like the 1930s.
It's something to cover your shoulders for sure, but I guess in this sense, the one we're talking about is more. It's covering more.
That pink one looks pretty much on.
Oh, that right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually pretty damn spot on. Yeah.
Yep. All right, it's an 1800s thing, says Kevin Brenner, and I'm in agreement. When they went to church,
have that, and they'd have the bonnet thing over the top of their head.
Yeah, when they went to church in Little House on the Prairie, they wore the shawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's a bad design. Bad design. We all agree.
Yeah. It's terrific.
Terrific.
Yep. Throw it in the garbage.
Okay. Let's see here. What we got going on next? I'm going to move something here real quick.
That's completely fair. Absolutely.
Okay.
What I like that question, Brian DeMarco. Wait, is this real? Or is it Memorex? All right. I don't know if anybody remembers that commercial. Is it real or is it Memorex? Back when tapes were used. Tapes. Little tapes. You record music on it. Yeah. Memorex. Yep. They were the #1 tape company. Outside of Sony, they made some good tapes.
When I recorded the radio, I just grabbed whatever tape was available.
Yeah, well, you lost because you lost a lot of quality if you weren't using Memorex.
Oh god, yeah, recording the radio, man. I need the best of quality for that.
We played it back. It's like sound like a record player from the 1930s. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Do not panic. Do not panic. Cap them now. Cap them now.
Actually, I don't know if this one is Dual Net Panic. I know the next ones are.
Boston Billups, 20-year-old, who plays for El Dents in the 3rd division of Spain. Got a goal.
Go.
Who posted this? I love
American
these.
Ultras Talk.
You know we love those guys. Been on their show. I just don't know if I can get too excited about a 20-year-old guy playing in the 3rd division in Spain. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we who was it? We talked about a couple guys last show. Another, I think it's USMNT National Team Report posted a guy that was like playing in like an 18-year-old that was playing in Serie D. We were talking about that last show.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
In the comments section, somebody responded, goes, "Yeah, that's if you guys ever see a post like that again, that's just me digging through the depths of transfer market and updating my his document. He's got a document similar to what you did.
Yeah, I know. I used to do that for years.
I'm like, I don't think Derek really thinks you were hyping up a Serie D 18-year-old.
You know what people a lot of people don't know is that for almost over a decade, I kept track of every single American player in Europe, all the way down to Division 3s in Spain, and the number of these kids, and there were a lot of them. Well, okay, none of them made it almost. I can't even think of one that did. The craziest one, of course, was your favorite center back coming up through Division 3 in England, that they had a movie on.
Demerit.
Demerit.
He started off in the 9th division, Derek. Come on.
Yeah, it's true. So, or I don't know if it's 9th, but it was down there. So the idea that this, and somebody said Segunda. No, not Segunda. Lower. Your friend Conrad is playing at Quetta, okay, in the Segunda League, where he doesn't play. Oh, I'm sorry. He got 8 minutes this weekend, or whatever it was. Congrats to Conrad. This guy's 20 years old and playing in the third division in Spain. This is nothing to get excited about at all. And I don't mind being informed of it, but we're still going to make the point that you should not get excited about this. And I'm not saying that the ultras are getting excited. American ultras are probably not getting excited about it. They're just posting it. Why not? But if you are reading things like this, do know the man is 20. He's a grown man, and he's playing in third division Spain. There you go. All right. He's not 16. He's not 14. He's not even 17. He's 20. Okay? All right. Enough. Figueroa on the bench for Liverpool's first team. I wouldn't bother adding eyeballs, and we love you, Edgar, but no point to watch because he was never going to play. And I said that on Twitter. He ain't playing. You guys can watch all you want, but he ain't playing. And he didn't play. And he's not going to play. And if he ever plays for Liverpool's first division, it'll be a minor fucking miracle. And it's more likely that this player will play for Honduras if he's good enough to do that even than play for us. He's not a good he's a good player at best. Certainly not a great player. And if he were, he'd already be loaned out somewhere playing in a minor championship or a League One team. Nobody is interested. All right, we've done this, Derek. You're right, we did, but had to repeat it again. I don't know who tracks, and I do, his performances with the youth team, the youth teams at Liverpool. He's not even that good with them. He's not
got
even
a hat trick. What are you talking about?
Yeah, whatever. He is not a penned-in starter. He's not playing every single game and scoring goals and trouncing people. All right.
Zara says he made the Liverpool bench, you MLS shill.
Congratulations in slow clap. He made them because, by the way, Liverpool got trounced in that game by Crystal Palace. Yeah, they always bring a bunch of youth players to the Carabao Cup. That is just something Liverpool has done for a long time now, and it ain't stopping. And that's one of the reasons they got their asses kicked. But he still didn't play, okay? They were well off losing. They were well onto their way of losing that game. He didn't even get 5 fucking minutes. All right.
While I agree with you in the sense that I don't necessarily see him starting for for Liverpool anytime soon, or ever, perhaps.
Ooh.
Who knows? We'll see. I don't want to make an assessment just yet by any means.
I will.
But it's got to be a good sign, relatively speaking, that he was at least called up as one of the youths.
No, not really.
Better than not being called up.
He's never.
That's a scientific fact, Eric.
I will come on this show and absolutely eat all the crow in the world if indeed he ever plays a significant role for the U.S. men's national team. Ever. I will guess he is more likely to play for Honduras than us. I don't think he's really that good. I'm sorry, I've watched too many of his games, and I just don't think he's that good of a player. All right, whatever. I am a negative fucking Nancy, I guess, if you want to call me that. But when I am wrong, I will stop. I know I'll never stop doing this. I will eat crow when I'm wrong, but I haven't had to. And I've been doing this for a while now. I've been back. Brett and I have been back.
You ate crow once.
About what?
I don't remember. You even brought the crow up and you showed the crow to everybody as you ate
but
it.
It wasn't on a player. It was something else.
There's all we really talk about on the show outside of our fluff pieces as players.
I know I ate crow once, but I can't remember why.
100% ate crow.
I did, but I don't
eat it.
But I don't think it was on a particular player. I don't think so. Not a youth player.
Bandit breaks the fourth wall by saying he ate chicken.
Yes. How long have I been right about Conrad de la Fuente? 3 years?
Was it Busio? Because
And by the way, if Busio ever gets back at this point,
yeah,
that's kind of a minor miracle.
Ooh, was it the Gio loan to Forest?
Might have been. No, that was just a debate on injuries with with because the debate was he thought he shouldn't go to Nottingham Forest because he was going to get injured. And we said, no, I don't think so. Anyhow, I don't know what it was. I can't remember. If you can remember, that's good. But I will always own up to my prediction mistakes. That's all I'm going to tell you.
He's saying it was.
I don't know why
it was the Gio injury prone.
Did he get injured? Well, at Nottingham Forest?
Not Nottingham Forest, but I think just in general, maybe. Maybe you ate the crow after you got back to Dortmund.
That'd be weird. All right. He is injury prone, so maybe I did. Maybe we both had to suck that one up because you were on board with that too. Why weren't you eating crow?
Because I only said it once, and you said it.
You only said it once, and I said it 4 times. All right. Anyhow,
Look, he went the entire Forest alone without an injury. He went back to Dortmund, got injured. It's clearly a German thing.
Here's what I'm trying to do, Brett. I am trying to save people time. If you were really invested in Conrad 3 years ago, I told you stop wasting your time. If you're super invested in Figueroa now, I'm telling you, stop wasting your time.
I guess the difference between Conrad and, say, Figueroa in that sense is that Conrad was at least getting called up to Barcelona's first team periodically and got a couple minutes here and there. And he had an actual career so far. Now, of course, Figueroa is still young.
He's had a career so far. You mean he rode bench at every team he's gone to, including in Greece, Switzerland, and now a second fucking division team in Spain? Please. We told you.
I would love to get paid. I would love to get paid to ride bench all day long, okay?
You just don't have the balls I do to call players out. No, that's not fair, Brett. You don't track all these players on every game. You don't have time for that shit. Right?
I don't care if to track somebody's playing in Greece or the second division of Spain in that sense. It's not my time. Nobody got time for that.
Well, I do. I'm single. My kids
help me watch his games anyways.
Well, I don't always. I read the reports. And there are only so many reports you need to read when a guy's in Switzerland and he never plays to make a pretty good assessment. Maloney did play center back this week.
Yeah.
And by the way, he was the second highest rated player on his team. All right. He did really good. And it's amazing that Mainz may have just found themselves a right center back. Okay. All right. Yeah. I will ride the spiniest bench daily for $500K. So what?
That's all I'm saying. I would love that professional career. Hey, what'd you do? I played professional soccer. Who'd you play for? Well, I rode bench the entire time. I really didn't play, but I mean, I was on the first team. Just
right.
Jack Pineda, kind of money to do nothing.
Jack Pineda says, Derek, you're married to your hand. I do not need to marry my hand. My hand is a slave to me. It does what I want it to do. I have no need, or is it necessary for me to marry my hand? My hand, with all the things that nature provided, is attached to my body, which is attached to my brain. So it pretty much does what I tell it to do. No need to marry it. Thank God. Can you imagine my hand arguing with me every day? You didn't take out the garbage. You didn't clean the toilet. Yeah, I don't need that shit. Hands don't do that. Love it. All right. 10-11. Not that my ex-wife did that. I'm just pretending there. 10-11. Oh, what about Josh Pinnedath, bro? Had crazy techers, but went nowhere. Well, Josh just played today. Interesting you brought that up. Josh Pinnedath went a whole 30 minutes for Dortmund in the Beaker, or as they call it in Germany, Zabeka, and they got slaughtered by Willem II. 7-0, including his other American buddies on the team, John Hilton and Sunderland. They got smashed, absolutely smashed today in a Beaker Cup game. There you go.
That's what you want playing in the Dutch second division,
Absolutely.
Curved down by a 2 team.
An absolute. Well, it's not really. That's their name. Willem.
That's their name.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's tough to follow all the leagues in Europe and see all the 2s behind teams and just know that they're backups or
It's a Roman numeral 2. It's
Yeah.
named after a regent. So there you go.
Fair enough.
So, but they did get their ass beat 7-0. Curb stomped. All right. Here's another one from our friends. We love these guys. I'm not lying about that. We really do. Liam West, 07, gets an assist on his first debut for Copenhagen, or Copenhagen, as they say somewhere in their own country. Kuben. It's Copenhagen, how they pronounce it there, I believe, in their own Denmark. Yeah. So, yeah, he got to play. How old is he? Can we get that? He's 07.
He's in the 7, so he's 18.
Okay. There's still hope for that guy. But let's be really honest. He is playing on one of the best teams in Denmark. So that's good news.
Yeah.
He is a dual nat, but it's still more likely he will play for Norway before he plays for us.
We just talked about the 4th division of Syria, or Syria D, I guess. That guy, wasn't he Norway doing that as well?
Might have been.
Because I said, hey, he's a dual nat. Look, you're like, hey, Norway has a pretty good team right now. They're not going to be looking at the dredges of Italy.
Yep. But let's also, can I say this? He is 18, Brett.
Yeah.
He's 18. He's not 16, so he's not a young phenom here. He's breaking into Copenhagen's team at the age of 18, something that's completely rational and normal.
Sure.
18-year-olds can break in, 18, 19-year-olds can break into that team. Okay? So it's not like, this isn't like something to break out the pom-poms for.
Get the wax out, but you just don't utilize it, right?
I wouldn't even break out the lube. I might lick a couple fingertips. That's about as far as I take that one. That's it.
The chat's getting crazy now.
18, too old for Derek. It is if he wants to be good, my friend. It is if he wants to be good.
Out of context, man. Somebody's going to clip all this. 18, too old for Derek. If he wants to be good, he's
at soccer. All right.
At soccer, yeah.
Yeah. 18 is not young, people. I'm just telling you. It's really not that young. 20 is, you're pretty much almost who you're going to be there as a player. At least technically. You can get wiser. You get better IQ. Is your technical ability going to get that much better? Probably not. Not that much better. Not noticeably better. Maybe a little better. But, yeah. Wise. Maybe you get wiser. It's higher soccer IQ.
A little wiser, yeah.
All right. We got more of these. All right. U23 Premier League International Cup. 19-year-old dual national. Oh, my God. Midfielder Devon Decourt. Starts for Anderlecht Futures in the match against Sunderland's U21s and PL2's Invitational Reserve Squad Tournament. Just so you people know, this is not new. These kind of dual nats have existed forever, which is why my list just, 8 years ago had 300 players on it. Okay? There are all these dual nats all over the place.
That was the thing too, man, because people who weren't aware of that at the time. And Derek's like pulling page after page after page after page after page. It's like all American citizens. How is it possible that we don't have that? Nobody on these lists ever made it to the national team.
Right? Because 99.9% of them don't work out. Mixed Disco is a complete rarity that he even played as much as he ever did for us as a dual nat from like out of nowhere. Like that's like. He was one of those guys that don't somehow make it out of that, dual nat pile of youngsters, right? But most of them don't amount to a hill of beans. So again, I'm not saying that we shouldn't know they exist. I used to know all of them. I used to track them. I used to drive myself madness, tracking all these youth players in Europe. I don't do it anymore. So I guess other people are doing it.
Yep.
That's good, but they will go mad at some point themselves.
This is an interesting conversation transition here because I got into a bit of a debate with a guy, and it turned out to be civil in the end, which most of my debates do on Twitter. Most of them turn out pretty civil in the end. There may be some heated moments here and there, but as a whole, we all come to the agreement or an understanding at the end of each other's points.
Kumbaya.
That exactly. But the talking point is that the United States has gone full ham as far as trying to attract these dual nets. These players who are not necessarily under poach by any means, but previous administrations here.
Right.
That we were actively scouting and recruiting, players who have little to no connection to the United States, except for that they may have a parent and they're in fact citizens. So we had this debate about yes, they're American citizens, but the culture that they grew up is different than the culture we have here in the States, and that's going to play a factor as far as our cohesiveness on the field and see how it's done for us, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. But I guess my question, when we talk about culture, when it comes to the dual nats, I'm just saying, one, we are a cultural hotspot as far as different types of cultures. What you're going to experience here in the Midwest, as far as like Indianapolis or rural Illinois, let's just say, is going to be different than what you're going to experience in Miami or LA or New York. But somehow, all these people from various different cultures and various different experiences all managed to come together and form a team that can play.
It is so fucking ridiculous we're having this conversation. What is American? I can tell you, when I went to Cannleton, Indiana to research my family's history on my dad's side, I went into the newspaper section back in the 1800s to track back my relatives. And guess what? Guess what language it was all the newspapers were in? German. Fucking German. And the only reason it changed, it was an mostly German-speaking town. The only reason it changed, because we went to war with Germany in World War I. And then they had to change all the streets from...
What accent? I don't know what you're talking about.
They had to change all the streets from Strassas back to street, or to street for the first time in Cannleton's history, as well as stop printing the paper in German, because all of a sudden the Huns were the bad people, which is hilarious based on World War I. If you know anything about the history about who the bad guys were and who the good guys were. There good guys? Were there bad guys? I don't know. It's World War I. There's a lot of bad guys on both sides. Anyhow, and now we're even talking the 40s, the 50s in the United States, and all the Irish communities and the Italian communities and the Greek communities and the Polish communities in all the major cities, not to mention African-American communities, all kinds of different cultures. Their Chinese had Chinatowns. Don't tell me you know what American is. Please, you don't. And those people have been, at that point in the 40s, 50s, they're 2, 3 generations, 4 generations in, some of them. And they still grasp on, of course, to their culture from home. Mario Andretti wasn't even born in the fucking United States, yet he is the greatest American F1 driver ever. Well, besides Phil Hill, because he's the only one besides Phil Hill to win a fucking Formula One championship. What, you going to tell me Mario Andretti is not American? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Well,
sorry.
The talking point when coming to towards the duels who are maybe not necessarily good enough to play for their first choice argument teams here, but I guess the cultural aspects of, say, Balogun's life in England, or Dest's life in the Netherlands, or Malik's in Germany. What cultural differences have they experienced that they can't come over to the United States and play with the rest of the United States?
Oh, I don't know, Brett. They've never had McDonald's.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Oh, wait. There's a McDonald's everywhere. They've never had Kentucky Fried. Oh, no, those are everywhere too. Tell me what makes them so fucking American. I tell you what makes them American. And my brother was born in Germany. Is he not fucking American? I was raised in Germany. Am I not fucking American? My mother's German. Fuck that bullshit. I am so sick of this crap. Yes, I eventually moved to the United States. And of course, all of us have a tie to the United States. I get it. Balogun didn't grow up here. He was just born here. But he has enough of a commitment. And that's all I need. I need a commitment from him to our team the United States men's national team. Blood and guts, like Jermaine Jones. I want somebody committed. I'm going to stand by that. And I don't know who gets to be the arbiter of who's American and who ain't American. I'm sorry, but if your father served in the U.S. Army and your mother is a German and she gave birth to you, you're the son of a fucking U.S. military dude. I'm sorry, you're American to me. Period. End of story. I don't care if you didn't learn to speak English till you were 12. You're American. That's half American to me. At least you're all American.
I specified in this discussion. I was like, I don't care the reasons why somebody ends up choosing us over said country that they were born into, so long as they come to the national camps and they put forth 100%, bleed out for the badge type of mentality. And if they don't call them back in.
Correct.
If you're not going to bust your butt for the badge, we don't need you, even if you are an American citizen by right.
You're not going to.
That goes for stateside players too, though.
Yes.
That's the same thing.
You're not going to bleed for us? Don't play for us.
Yeah.
Done. End of story.
It eventually transitioned into the difference of cultures because different countries have different styles of play, which is kind of, again, funny because, again, if you go to the Southwest, if you go down to like LA or Miami or New York, they all play differently because they all have different cultural upbringings. Again, I grew up in rural Indiana where, in the 80s and 90s, where the coaches, for the most part, were dads who bought a book or watched a VHS.
Me too. That's no different. Yeah.
So it got brought into identity, and I had a deep conversation where I'm like, we talked about how we used to have an identity up until Klinsmann. So I said we had an identity pre-Klinsmann, and that was with dual nats, some dual nats stateside, others abroad. Style of play varies drastically around the U.S., let alone abroad. Diego Luna plays differently than Brendan Aronson, plays differently than Tim Weah. What bastardized the national team was this thought that we had to do something what others were doing. If it's working for X, then we should do it too. As a country, we can change our identity, but ultimately it can't happen from the top down, and it can't happen overnight. And then I specified this. I never really got an answer on this one, but when you say we went full ham on duels, which ones are bringing us down, and who's getting snubbed?
It's so ridiculous too because Pulisic's a duel,
but he's a stateside duel is the thing.
Who cares?
And the same thing with Pepe and Luna; they're all stateside duels, but I mean they could have easily gone to Mexico.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think where this conversation became more civil and understanding, at least, was the fact that we had an identity, a blue-collared, defensively sound, counterattack, quick transition type of mentality. And then Klinsmann came in, and there was a change. Hey, we need to find our identity. We had an identity.
We did, and
but
guess
now
what?
we got to change it to more of a possession base and the slow build-up and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, and a lot of those players who started that identity in 94 were all kids of immigrants. Balboa, fucking Lawless,
Ramos.
The list can go on forever. It's just, we get hung up on all this horse shit. Has nothing to do with anything. Okay, I guess they were born here and they lived here. That's the difference. Oh, I guess now they've culturally appropriated enough for you, the arbiter of who's American enough and who's not. Nobody gets to decide that, dude. Each individual player gets to decide whether they're ready to commit to the United States of America to play soccer for them and bleed for them and play their guts out. And if they do that, that's all I care about, which is why Jermaine Jones to this day is still my favorite player.
Our identity was the beloved 4-4-2. Yeah.
Well, nobody plays that anymore. Some do, but not enough play a 4-4-2. I will say that.
Yeah.
It's a good, solid formation.
Game was transitioned forward to something else. Yeah, that's just like trends, just like mom jeans and parachute pants and all that stuff. Everything's coming back.
Yeah. You know what? More people should play what my team played. A 3-1-3-3. How's that? It took us to a state final, Betty. We lost, but 3-1-3-3.
Played with the stopper. Nice.
Yep. Towns Brownlee.
That's how I played a lot of my youth. As far as we played, it was a 3. We played with a sweeper and a stopper. basically in the end. And the two kind of outside center backs, if you will.
You're playing on football fields. They're not wide. You don't need 4 across. Mm-hmm. A 3-1-3-3 did it. It was perfect for that size of field. Anyhow, back in the day when they extended the field a whole yard on each side, wider than a football field. You're like, a whole yard? Wow. I don't know if you've ever played on a legitimate football field side field. It's thin. It's very thin.
My senior year, they decided to tear down our soccer pitch to rebuild it, for the future. Not my future, not my present though, unfortunately. And we had to play all of our home games on our football field, and that was different.
And by the way, football fields, people don't know this, especially high school ones, they have a slight curvature towards the edges. You could feel it when you run for the water to run off, whereas the irrigation for soccer fields is built in, usually underneath, so the water can be drained off. But a lot of American football fields back in the 80s were slightly domed, and they kind of ran off on the edges, so you were running downhill as you went to the right, like off the field. It was weird. It was very gradual, but it was there. And that's why the sidelines were so fucking muddy all the time on all those football fields we played on, because that's where the water ran off to. All right.
Yeah. Edgar was also part of that conversation because he initially said that the whole conversation started with a post he made.
Yep.
I forgot who it was about, but during the whole conversation of dual nats and stuff, a couple names were brought up. Of course, Jermaine Jones was brought up in a I guess a tone of love in that sense, like, hey, he's the one dual nat that I can really go back and say he bled for the team, blah, blah.
Absolutely.
Yep. Like, well, I mean, but to the argument though, he was born and raised in Germany. Of course, he had an American father, serviceman, and everything. Yep. Don't believe he was a part of his life at all, for the most part.
Not a whole lot, no.
But he grew up playing through the German youth teams, played a little bit for the national team, made the switch, but nobody second guessed him after he made that switch. I mean, he came out and he played for the U.S. And I was like, when does the culture begin for the U.S. culture begin for Jermaine Jones? Was it when he got the American flag tattooed on his calf? Was that it?
Yeah, exactly. Hilarious. No, it came that we all embraced him when he balled out and played balls out. Yeah. That's when we embraced him. And that's all I'm asking, as you said earlier, from any player that switches to our team.
That was a prime example in that sense right now. Oh, yes. Not right now. He came over, of course, doesn't really have any history with the U.S. national team, I mean, or youth national teams for that matter.
Nope, but Des did, by the way.
Des did. Des was different because he actually played for our U17s and our U20s.
Yep.
People seem to forget about that for whatever reason.
He's been playing with us since he was 14 years old. Des. So there's that.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know. It's just it begs that question as far as when people say, "Oh, they're not American enough." It's like, what the fuck is American at that point? I mean, they're a citizen.
Let them choose.
Get the fuck over it.
Why do you get to decide? Let their hearts be the judge.
Again, we've had dual nats come in, not perform, not bust their ass, and guess what? They weren't called back in.
Out. Get out. Hit the road, Jack. Yep.
All right. Speaking of dual nat that people are playing a lot of their hopes on too.
I feel like we do this conversation once a year.
Easily, yeah.
Yep.
It always comes up.
Another dual nat, Matthias Albert, is expected to be promoted to the U23 squad this winter. Should already be there. And he's also set to become part of the professional team for. All right, aren't we jumping the gun a little here? Expected.
I think he was actually brought onto the U23s. Has he already played a game for them at least?
Yeah, one, I think.
So he's gonna the talk and the Sports Bild says it, and so does Dortmund's news blog. They also say it, so it's true.
Oh yeah, Sports Bild, 100% reliable.
Well, that's what I said. It said Dortmund's news blog. Remember?
Right. I'm not. This is nothing against Otaku. I'm talking about Sports Bild. You can trust them about as far as you can throw them.
Well, I was also cracking the joke about the Dortmund news blog. So
them even worse. Yes, worse.
So
worse than even
given Albert's production on the U19s right now, I would imagine that a promotion to the U23s in the winter is likely to happen.
The jump to the big boy team, though, that's going to be a little harder. We shall see. Let's
see how he performs with the U23s. Yeah.
But if fucking Cole Campbell could make that team,
that's fair.
after the way he just played, and I want to be really clear about Cole Campbell. People are busting his balls. He did what Zendejas did in the Gold Cup. Had he not done that, he might have been not seen the way he is being seen now. No. He over fucking did it. He tried to play superhero ball. Yep.
He could have bagged a handful of assists. I watched multiple games, and I had to watch some of them on replay, of course. But I'm like, there were multiple times where he'd have the ball, and all he had to do was make that extra pass. Taking a Ted Lassoism here. Way to make that extra pass at the very end instead of trying to take it himself. Well, that's a weird thing. I always try. I tell Jackson that too. I'm like, hey, I know you want to score goals too, but assists are just as fucking good as goals.
Yeah, I do think
finishes one you create. So come on.
On top of that, Brett, I mean, there were just times when he tried to dribble past three guys. Yeah. How many times did he try to do that unnecessarily? Like, you can't tell yourself, well, I play for Dortmund, so I'm going to carry this team. That's what he thought he had to do, and that's how he played. And when you do that, you could often look stupid. And now people don't think he's that good. And maybe he isn't. I don't know. But there's a reason he made the Dortmund squad. He can't be that god-awful. He doesn't play like that for Dortmund.
Well, I mean, given the limited times we've seen him play with the Dortmund team, he doesn't play like that for them.
At all.
He is absolutely a role player who takes chances from time to time, but he's not the guy that's going to try to dribble three guys in the Bundesliga at this point.
Yeah, he's calculated. Where with the U.S. U team, he was reckless. He was reckless. That's the way I put it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. Getting a lot more playing time.
He's got the captaincy.
Got the band on. Played this weekend. Been playing and starting regularly again since your homeboy in Italy left. Not your homeboy.
Yeah. He failed in Croatia, but he managed to get the Italian national team.
Yeah, unbelievable. He failed upwards.
I don't understand that.
Yeah,
whatever.
Unbelievable.
Whatever. But I mean, stoked to see him get the accolades that he's getting, and hopefully a move out soon.
That's been difficult because they've wanted to sell him to an MLS team now twice, and he's told them to go stuff it up their asses twice. So there you go.
Well, he was like, "Fuck it, I'll just rather write out my contract."
Yep.
I mean, he'll get bids, especially as the contracts in his years in his contract are winding down.
Yeah. So. Green Great Basin asks a question, Derek, who's more annoying, MLS shills, fanboys, or Euro snobs? I think if you're leaning on either of those sides, you're probably missing something. Like if you're leaning too heavily either way, you're missing something. You're like, there's a black hole in context, and you're too bought into a narrative that you won't let go of. That's not how we should be looking at soccer or evaluating football or MLS or anything else. Everything should be done contextually, genetically contextually. If you can do that, if you've been old enough, like Brett and I are old enough, to have a long history in the sport, going back to when MLS just started, going back to, not the 1900s. Well, it is the 1900s, right? Like I started watching the sport when I was a kid in 1979. Okay. So I think there are a lot of people and pundits and critics on X and Twitter. They don't have that context. They don't know what happened in the 90s. They don't know what happened in the 80s. They have no idea what happened in the 2000s. Most of them just started watching the sport in the last 10 to 15 years, and they talk like they're fucking experts, like they know something. And maybe they do about the now, but sometimes there's context about the way the sport has developed to now that they're missing, right? So sometimes that's frustrating to watch. People lean too heavily on one side and say everything in MLS sucks, and then the MLS people say, "Oh, you guys are all Euro snobs," and it just gets into an area that I'm frankly not used to, because that's a new conversation that happened in the last probably 6 years where we've been having to deal with this, because that was never how it was in big soccer, right? I don't remember it being like that then, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and I think overall the MLS shills and the Euro snobs are kind of a small minority of each side of the spectrum. If you
I'd agree. I think
most people fall in there. MLS people who love MLS still love European soccer. Some people in European soccer may not necessarily rate MLS, but they're not out there bashing it hardcore. And you don't have to bash MLS. I mean, you can sit there and say, like, I don't rate it. I don't like it. That's fine.
And you
That's
can criticize it.
fine.
There's perfectly enough to criticize. Absolutely. So it's just like, if you're going to criticize, do it in a contextual way. Have something around what you're saying. Just don't come out and say MLS is a big piece of garbage and shit. Maybe you've already made the argument 1,000 times of why it is, and you're just tired of making it. So now you're just making grand statements. Okay.
I've been shitting on Chicago for a decade and a half now.
And
people would back in preseason saying, "This is the season, Derek.
And
this
people,
is the season."
And people would think you're a Chicago hater, but you're not. That's your team. Yeah. Well, it's one of your teams. Like, we have teams in Europe too. So there's that. I don't think you have an EPL team though.
No, not really. Pretty much in Europe in general, it's just I follow the Yanks. I don't have an A team. I mean, Juve is the closest thing I got, but I don't necessarily follow them that closely.
So Fulham for me, obviously, been doing it for 20 years. So
Leeds.
Yep. Leeds. Yes, I know. I got sucked into that, and I got to know a bunch of Leeds fans, and all of a sudden, God forbid, I'm getting into it, watching all the podcasts, and oh God, I've cut down on that, by the way, a lot.
Oddly enough, I haven't gotten into any of the podcasts of other shows except for one dude with Forrest. Yeah. While Gio was there, I was like, I need to hear some more information about Gio there and everything like that. And it was quite insightful to hear the stuff that he was hearing from him and his group were hearing from the staff and stuff, because there's always kind of glowing remarks about Gio there. But then you have like, well, why wasn't Gio playing if they like him a lot? I'm like, well.
I remember that guy.
You got Morgan White. You got Nuno, who apparently, according to people close to Nuno, just respected the shit out of people with EPL experience, and not necessarily people who was foisted upon him by his manager.
Well, he's not there anymore, so there you go. And Nottingham Forest are back at the bottom.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Brian and Marco asked about Puks's contract. He's like, didn't he resign? He's there until he extended until 2027. It was a year. It looked like it was a year extension. Probably when this deal failed, actually.
Right.
Hey, if you're not going to take the MLS deal, give us another year so we can really start marketing you out.
So Hayduck Split said, okay, you told us to go fuck ourselves in the ass when we want to sell you to MLS. So let's make this long term so we can make some money off of you.
Yeah.
When we do sell you, because we got you till 2027. So if somebody wants to come get you now, they're going to have to pay us for you. Right. So that's why that was happening. All right. Speaking of Leeds, thoughts. Leeds United reportedly keeping a close eye on Coventry City. Marks, they're ogling him. Haji Wright, who had scored 40 goals and 90 appearances in all competitions this season, the USA International, struck on 9 occasions across 13 outings. I don't know how this is being received in Leeds quarters yet, but I'd like to see some of that.
You know what, though? Obviously, I think Haji and Coventry is going to be moving up most likely if they continue the pace they're going.
Absolutely.
Long season still. But, Leeds shouldn't give up on Josh Sargent, because when Norwich goes down to League One, they're probably going to be able to get him for pretty cheap.
Well, what Leeds are talking, yeah, right. what I think Leeds fans are talking about in this site is the winter window.
Yeah.
Like, who
Oh.
can we add in winter that makes sure we stay up, right? And what has been one of their weak points has been center forward. So maybe that's something they want to do. I don't know, but I think it's like if they want that, they're going to have to lay down some straight up hard ass cash because Coventry City are not giving up Haji Wright without a fight.
Yeah. They will make that value extreme.
Or they might be comfortable with what Sims is doing lately for them and say, well, Haji was great. It was a great run, but the Sims guy, he's been really good too. We don't need Haji. That'll be up to them, of course, because
they're buying for that top spot right now. And
you don't know sometimes. It's like if they're going to pay us 60 million or 50 or 40.
That's what I'm saying. If you make it a stupid value,
it's going to have to be stupid. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Going to have to be stupid. Yep.
Okay. Let's bounce over to Yanks abroad real quick.
Okay. Yanks abroad. Weah didn't play this midweek because he's injured.
Because they didn't pick up an injury, yeah.
And he won't be there for November. So say reports. Testman, 22 minutes in a tie for Lyon. McKennie, 90 minutes in a win. Got his new manager today, was announced. We'll see how that all works out. By the way, Hoppy started for his third game in a row for Sanderjiski. Go ahead.
Jumping back, did you end up? I think you said that you were going to go back and watch that match. Did you watch the Juve game?
Yeah. I thought he did great.
How did he play? Because I was looking at Foot Mob stats because I didn't watch the match. I was looking at Foot Mob stats, and it looked like he had a relatively mediocre compared to the rest of his teammates based off his rating. But then I saw on Twitter people were hyping him up and saying, "Hey, a really good game." I'm like, "Oh."
You can't always trust Foot Mob.
I know you can't.
Yeah, I thought he had a really good game. I would put that as one of his better games of the season. Actually.
I mean, I was looking at the ratings and I was looking at his stats, and his stats were fine. They're fine. And I think it was like a 6.6, and quite frankly, a 6.6 isn't bad. It's pretty close to a 7 at that point. But I mean, you just look around at all the other people and like, oh, greens and shit, and you're like, oh, well, why did he stand out below everybody else?
So below, because the couple opportunities that he did create, and he did, were blown. Had those been goals, or at least one of the two been goals, his stats would have gone up, I think, or at least his rating would have. Yeah. So
that's stupid. He created opportunities. They shouldn't be affected because they got blown.
Right. Now we'll see, as Alex Caven says, Spalletti being the new coach. Spalletti's no spring chicken. Guy's been around the block. We'll see what he wants to do. Because McKennie can play so many different formations, it'll just be really about whether or not Spalletti believes he earns one of those positions, one of many. But the great thing about the last game with McKennie is he got to play center midfield, and he looked really competent and good. Spalletti, not spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Spalletti, not spaghetti. All right. Then, like I said, Hoppy got 18.
Yeah.
I mean, his third start in a row. This time at center forward. 2 in a row at center forward. No goals, though. So
even 18 minutes, I wouldn't expect the world of that.
But he's definitely, they've decided he's their starter at least for 2 games in a row at center forward. I don't know. They're seeing something in practice. And,
did you say 80 minutes?
82 minutes.
Oh, I thought you said 18.
No, 82 minutes.
Then okay, never mind. Yeah, you kind of hope at that point that Hoppy would start scoring some goals and given
second game in a row he started at center forward. Richards injured, another injury, so God help us in November. If that doesn't get fixed. It was a muscle injury, so it doesn't look too serious. However, I will say this, his replacement looked really good against fucking Liverpool. You always hate that. You're like, oh, man, this guy's playing really good. God damn, I hope he doesn't take his spot. I don't think he will, but
Can't imagine that being the case.
just watching the game, I was like, God damn, this kid's not bad. Or this guy's
real
not bad.
quick. Straight Catnip says Scally lost his starting spot, and D is one of 5 players Gladbach are wanting to sell this winter. Who's D? I don't know who D is. Oh, and one is one. So they're like, he's saying that they're looking to sell Scally this winter. I don't think he's lost his spot. I mean, he lost his spot for 1 match.
2.
Well, no, because here's what I'm going to say. I think obviously with his replacement against Bayern got a red card. I don't think Scally started the mid-game match, the Pokal.
The Pokal game.
Because they're keeping him for the actual match against St. Pauli on Saturday.
We will see if that's true. I was wondering that as well. I'm not 100% bought in yet, but we'll see on that.
I don't know how you replace him. He was one of the more consistent players over the last two or three matches that they played.
Other guy played pretty well. I get it's a Pokal match, but he played pretty good. So we'll see.
What division were they playing against? What guy?
Second, 2 Bundesliga team.
Oh, that's fair. That's whatever.
It's not bad. He played well, so we'll see. And he came off the bench the game before that too. Just keep in mind. All right. So this is a trend. He did at least get to play last game, but it was like at the very dying moments of the game. Whereas, Reyna, it's not worth risking him when you're up 3-1 or whatever it was at the time. Also, Dietz and Green and Greuther Fürth are dive bombing themselves into the ground right now. They are just losing. They lost in the Pokal. Dietz got 90. Green got 9. It's not good. Maloney started and played 85 minutes and was the second highest rated player on his team for Mainz. So maybe Mainz playing a back 3 in this case, which they don't always play, but they did during the Pokal. Maybe they're going to play that more often. And if they do, I would expect to see more Maloney because he was hot shit in that game. Really good.
I feel like somebody over Mainz is watching our show.
I hope so.
We've been pushing for the better part of a year to play.
We've been saying play him at center back for like 2 years now. All right. Castaneda. Yep. Castaneda sat the bench for Paderborn. I know there were a lot of Castaneda-ites out there, but looks like, I don't know, maybe he's not 100% a starter sometimes. But they lost to Tillman's Bayer Leverkusen, and of course Tillman's injured, so he didn't play. Seam injuries. Corbeau's went 90 for Bielefeld in the Pokal in a loss. EPB finally got to start for Panathinaikos after 5 or 6 games in a row where he was.
Larry will correct you. He'll tell you how many.
It's 5 or 6 and he was benched. And he's back. They went 90 in a cup game. So maybe they were just testing him out, or they're giving their starters a rest because it was a cup game. But it was against one of the better teams in Greece. But maybe they played their backups too. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. I'm hoping the best for EPB there. Busio, 65, an assist and a win. All right. Well, it's down there. So
speaking of Chris Richards, going back to that game real quick, I just saw this update.
Little bit.
Apparently, it's just a little bit of an issue with his calf. They weren't going to risk it during the EFL or the EFL Cup, so they kind of expect him to be back.
Yep. Okay, good. I thought it was small. Trusty comes back from oblivion and starts a game for Celtic, and they win it. And by the way, Celtic have been poor. They have been horrible for games in a row. Hearts running away with the Scottish Premiership right now. Hearts.
Weird fucking time.
But it's not. There's like I always said that when we cover Scotland, it's Rangers, Celtic, and like one other team. And it's usually, I always say it's usually like Hearts or somebody like that. Well, this year it is Hearts. And they are in first. So continue to play Trusty, please. He played really well. I only watched the highlights. Looked good there, but I also read some online reports of the game.
Rangers have finally picked it back up, it looks like.
Yeah, well, that's a game or two, so they need to keep going.
Yeah.
Conrad, a whole 8 minutes for Queta. in the second. Well, this is a Copa del Rey match. Copa. It's a Copa game. And he still only gets 8 minutes. Good God, Conrad. How far we have fallen. Kermashi got 13 for Parma. Good for him. Reynolds and Yao got their ass whooped by a team named Beershot. It's not that I've never heard of them before, but others may not have. They got their asses whipped by a team named, well, we call them in Germany, we say Beershot. But in Belgium, I don't know what they say. I'd imagine it's closer to the German pronunciation than Beershot. But what a great name. Beershot. You should be able to beat a team that's drinking beer shots before the game even starts. You should be able to defeat a team who is drunk on the pitch. But they lost. Reynolds went 90. And Yao continues to not start for Westerlo. He continues to not start. What is going on in Westerlo for Griffin Yao? What in the fucking hell is going on with this player? And he did not score, assist, or anything while he was playing, and they got crushed. And that's it. That's the midweek report.
Midweek report.
Midweek report. Queef, says Bandit. All right. Bear short. AJ 1410 for 199. Reyna gets the treatment rolled on. Should get unreal. Reyna gets the treatment rolled on.
So I know what he's meaning. He's talking about the treatment that say Doug is giving to Gio at this point. But you could always read that and say that Reyna's getting the love without producing. Then that's the type of treatment that rolled on should be getting, is that love. But no.
I mean, listen, I totally disagree with what Doug said. And I actually said I disagreed. Because Doug said it's completely tone deaf from Gio Reyna given Pochettino's team's first messaging. And I said it really doesn't matter. I think it's all a moot point. I don't take anything from this interview. I don't think Poch gives two fucks about it. It's basically what I said. I think now it's up to Reyna. Reyna's got to play. And if he plays himself back onto Mönchengladbach and he plays well, he'll get back on the team. It's simple as that. And then I got accused of some weird shit. And I don't understand how that happened, but it happened from somebody I thought watched our show.
That'll be the tail end of the conversation, because I thought it was kind of funny. We'll end it on a happy note.
Okay.
So Doug McIntyre does quote the article from the AP interview. And he says, I'm not just going to sort of sit here and take all the blame for something that was made out to be completely my fault. I was upset that I wasn't really playing.
Can I?
Of course, that the ... there skips out quite a bit.
What? Okay, I've talked to some people. What Reyna was saying that Doug's taking completely out of context here is that he is not taking any blame for the press and media blow up that happened after Berhalter went and spoke at the conference and it all blew. He's basically saying, I'm not taking any blame for the blow up, for the media explosion. That's not on me. Okay? I was just upset that I wasn't playing, and somehow it turned into that massive blow up.
I didn't. Yeah, the way I interpreted the I'm not going to take all the blame is that there was blame because I was talking about the circus as a whole.
Yes,
and the symposium falls within the circus.
Yes,
the blame of the whole issue. Gio's meltdown, Greg's reaction, his parents getting involved. Then the symposium, then his parents getting more involved.
Right.
The blame doesn't just solely fall on Gio and this whole circus.
In fact,
now mind you, his actions that he did himself, that he apologized for, and he talked about, those were his fault. The way he acted, and he goes into talking about that. The reason why I was acting this way, and I'm not, the way I interpret it. He's like, I'm not trying to make an excuse, but the reason I acted this way is because I wanted to play.
Right. But people have misinterpreted this quote from the AP. And it was explained to me by someone I can't mention that he's not talking about his riff with Berhalter here. He's talking about the blow up, the whole media explosion thing. He said, like, you're going to make me take the blame for all of that came out and the explosion of it all over the news and what happened after. I thought it was worked out. That's not all my fault. The fact that it got everywhere is just not my fault. That wasn't just me. I didn't do that by myself. That's all he's saying here.
Let's see, where's it at?
So that changes the context of this quote.
Well, let's not forget he does, because I mean, as far as the history goes, you know, he wasn't really putting in the effort during the pre-World Cup training, and
he fucked up.
He fucked up. He thought he could coast in there because, you know, I'm gonna start, whatever. And Greg got pissed. Had to have his assistant coaches calm him down because he was about to ship him back home or to Germany. His assistant coaches had to come in, calm him down.
Yep.
Proposed the idea of him apologizing. Gio came in. He apologized to the team. Served his one-game suspension.
They still almost voted him to leave the island. It was 8-7 from the leadership council. Yep.
But yeah, so he served his one-game suspension. He got his limited time that Berhalter said he was going to get. And, you know, he moped during the entire time. We called it out too. You know, during it happening, we called it out.
We called it out on this show. He's moping. Yep.
But as far as, you know, he was concerned, as far as Tim Ream was concerned, because this came back up once the symposium was leaked, that this was all handled and done. It was behind closed doors. We all moved on.
Yes.
But then it got brought back up. He posted this on his Instagram after the symposium got leaked. It was just basically a, hey, you know, I thought it was all being held behind closed doors. He explained how he was devastated. He said, and this is the key part of it, is his apology, if you want to call it what it is, or statement. Let's just call it a statement. He goes, I'm a very emotional person. I fully acknowledge that I let my emotions get the best of me and affect my training behavior for a few days after learning about my limited role. I apologize to my teammates and coach for this, and I was told I was forgiven. I highlighted this part of it because it correlates perfectly with what he says in the interview.
Yep. He
says, hey, I know I fucked up. I shouldn't have done this, but this is why it happened. And that's why I gave I think valid criticism to Doug as far as this screams, I'm sorry to say, but this screams building a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't follow Doug close enough over the history since Gio-Gate to know what his personal feelings about Gio might be.
Oh, you're not buddy with him like me.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I mean, it's just completely
we're not buddies.
deaf.
Trust me, we're not.
I mean, it ignores a healthy chunk of the actual quote itself, where he talks about how he wants to play and where he wants to help the team.
Yep.
So, and plus, again, as I mentioned here, because I quote tweeted him, it said, he's recalling an incident from 3 years ago, reflects that he was part, not all of the problem, explains the resulting emotional outburst, and mentions it's in the past. Since that incident, when asked whether he deserved call-ups in September, he explains the lack of club ball needs to be addressed first. We can criticize him on his lack of PT in Bundesliga, but I think the quote has no bearing on Poach's mind. Perhaps Poach will just chalk this up as bad culture under the last steward.
Did Doug like your post?
Nah, I don't know.
Just mine. All right. And yours is much more contextual than even mine is. Mine just deals with the future, right?
Yeah.
But I think Doug is missing the whole context of Reyna's response to the AP. He's just missing it. He's talking about the whole incident and how it played out in the media and the press. That's what he's talking about. Don't tell me that's all my fault. It wasn't all my fault. I didn't want it to blow up that way, which is what he should have finished it off with, but he didn't. That's all he's saying.
Yep.
That's all. And and people accuse me of not supporting Reyna enough, but even Reyna has said, if I don't play, I'm not going to be on the U.S. men's national team.
And that corroborates what Poach said too. Hey,
yes,
the players know. The players know.
And that what people say to me, well, you're agreeing with Poach's point of view then. No, I'm not. Because if I were the manager of the team, I would bring Reyna. I don't care. I'd just put a blindfold on and say, I don't care what's going on there. I want you on my squad, and I'll work you into shape and onto this team slowly but surely. Okay, that's me. I'm not the coach. That's why we don't do Disneyland picks on this fucking program. All right, so I can only go by what Reyna is saying now, which is, yeah, I haven't earned it, and when I earn it, I'll be back on the team. He's saying it. What am I supposed to tell Reyna to shut the fuck up? That's what he's saying. And I'm saying the same thing. He's got to earn it to the point where even Poach's inconsistent rules and regulations of who gets called up and who doesn't, based on what, God knows what, he can't even deny that Reyna should be on the team. So that's what Reyna needs to do. He needs to be competing and playing so well, not even Poach can say, nah, you can't be on my team. Poach he's got to will Poach at this point. And I don't know what people think, but no matter how much we can advocate for any player, whether it be Sargent, Reyna, whatever, it doesn't matter. In the past, it doesn't matter what we say here. So what are we? Brett and I supposed to be on Twitter 24/7 advocating that Reyna needs to be called up in November, regardless of how he plays for Gladbach? Is that what you want us to do? Well, we're not doing it. Because even Reyna said now he's got to earn it. So I'm with Reyna. Go earn it, man. Make it impossible for Poach not to call you up. Because that's really, honestly, the only way it's going to happen now. Because whether you like Poach or not, and despise him, and no, I am not, what was the word? What was the word, Brett? I am normalizing the corruption and chaos that Poach and U.S. Soccer are doing. I'm not normalizing it. I'm reporting on it. That's it. That's what we do here. We have criticized Poach till the fucking cows come home on this show. I don't know what else we can do. When he's wrong, we have told him, and we've told you when he's been wrong. What am I supposed to start a campaign? Want me to start a campaign on X? Bring Reyna on the U.S. men's national team now. Hashtag Reyna now. Hashtag Reyna now. No, I'm not doing that. I'm here to cover the sport, watch the sport, analyze the sport. I'm not here to be an advocate for fucking Gio Reyna. Gio Reyna can be an advocate for himself.
And occasionally have lighthearted jest about the sport.
Now, if Brett and I believe coming into the World Cup that Reyna's kicking ass at Gladbach and should be called up for the team, we're definitely, during analyzing who should be called up for the national team, we're going to tell you that. Because that's our job as analysts of the game here on this channel. But I'm not starting some fucking campaign so you can tell me that I'm not normalizing, whatever the fucking, I hate that fucking word, by the way. What is that? I'm normalizing it. No, I'm not. I'm reporting what's going on. What's going on is Poach said that Reyna's not fit enough to play the system he wants to play because he's always injured and he doesn't play for his team. Reyna said, well, you're right. I haven't been very fit and I've not been healthy. So I understand why you're not calling me up. And Reyna says then, and so I need to earn it, and I'm going to go out there and bust my balls, and the chips will fall as they may. What am I supposed to do? Get in between a consensus argument between Poach and Reyna where they both agree on the same thing, even though I think Poach is full of shit, usually, about who and why he calls up who he does? Because that's not consistent either, by the way. There's no consistency in that. So anyhow.
Here's what you've been referring to the past 5 minutes and stuff. Where you said, at this point, I'm not taking much stock in the comment relates to Poach going forward. Reyna is still a long way from making this next World Cup regardless until he plays ball and plays well.
Yep, that's
and,
the truth.
Toxic says you and Doug.
I don't get that. How are Doug and I best buddies now? I just disagreed with Doug.
He's calling you Dumb and Dumber is what he's calling you.
I just basically said what Doug just said, discount it because it's not important and it doesn't matter. And Poach doesn't care about that. All Poach cares about is what Reyna does from here on with Gladbach and whether or not he can get back healthy, get back into fitness, and become a actual difference maker for Gladbach. And if he can do that, he is going to talk his way. In fact, Reyna did an interview before this and said, I've talked to them. They told me, go there, play well, and make your argument on the pitch. And if you do that and you're good enough, you'll be back on the U.S. men's national team. And that's all Reyna needed to hear. So what? Am I supposed to advocate for Reyna beyond that? I'm not an advocate. I'm an analyst. Those are two different things. All right.
Toxic asks you, why doesn't Poach call him up and let him play for the U.S. men's national team? He's never not performed for us. And you said, got me, but Poach has a set of standard that, while not consistent, he's holding on to. I'd call Reyna personally, but I'm not U.S. manager.
Of course I would, because I am going to be really liberal with what I think is a superstar. And if I can get him back into the flow of play and get him back into the team and get him integrated with the team like he has done with an injured Jedi, I would have done that. Even if he gave limited minutes, he was going to have limited minutes or no minutes at all. I think I would have done that as the coach. But I am not the coach. And that's why we do not deal with Disney situations here. Because that's my personal feeling.
I love the last line you put here because you said I'd call in Reyna personally, but I'm not the U.S. manager. And it follows up with, why do you simp for Poach's poor decisions?
We've been bashing Poach on the show for months. I just
I've been
don't
bashing
get
him
that.
Since the Mexico match. I was one of the very few people that was really overly critical of Poach in that match.
Well, then he said,
it's a second match. It's a second match.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. We criticized Berhalter for the exact same shit.
Yep.
Criticizing him for the shit too.
What? And then he said, there is no performance standard. That's a lie. What did I just say? His standard's not consistent. Like, can this person, who I thought was a person who watched our show, yeah, obviously, in that comment's missing somewhere. I don't know where it went. But I said, what about not consistent? Do you not understand? So, anyhow, there it is. Your comments seem to perpetuate and normalize the corruption at the heart. No, they don't. No, they certainly don't. If you watch the show, we do not perpetuate and normalize any corruption by the USSF. We call it out here on a regular basis. So I'm not reinforcing shit. I don't know what the fuck you're even talking about. I thought Toxic used to watch the show, and I know he did at one point, but he's obviously stopped.
There's a couple of people who have Toxic in their handle. I don't know if this Toxic was a listener.
No, I've talked to this guy all the time online. So
he doesn't follow us on Twitter.
There you go. I don't know. Does he follow me? Yes. So.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah. So maybe he doesn't watch the show, Brett. And that's what I said. Are you watching our show? I thought you watched the show. If you don't watch the show, then shut the fuck up. Because you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know us at all. What am I supposed to go on there and, do all my rants in writing? The reason we have the show is so I don't have to do that on Twitter. I don't want to do that on Twitter. All right.
So I got into a conversation with Kristen here, where she was basically saying, I want to see Gio take it, admit fault, basically, And I posted this and I said, I feel like he already accepted blame for his part in the incident. This was back, obviously,
good for you, Brett. Good.
And she responded by saying, maybe the real question should be, why his role was to be limited.
Good question.
Why no matter what coach he's had since has been limited.
No.
Think there might be something to that, which I think is what I was talking about, maybe not the best of words. So I said that would be speculating at best to assume it's an attitude issue, ignoring Seven Claudio. Gio was just returning from a serious long-term injury in November. He was just returning from injury, and he just got a couple matches in before the World Cup.
Yep.
So I said Gio was just returning from serious injuries heading into November. I would assume that Greg was limiting his minutes because of fitness. And of course, he's competing against Pulisic and Weah, who are going to be key starters predominantly.
Mm-hmm.
Terzic specified that he didn't rate Gio's defensive responsibilities. Nuno had Morgan Gibbs White in place and didn't actively seek out Gio, foisted upon by the new agent. And reportedly by people around Nuno, he respected the EPL experience, though I'd argue his limited time there wasn't as bad as what people made it out to be. I think his time at Forest was fine. When he actually played, he was fine. He wasn't great, but he was fine.
Yep.
And the litany of other managers at Dortmund after Gio wasn't really performing in the limited time he had with him after the Forest loan. No coach in history has had a problem stating that a player is a problem. If it was an attitude issue, there would be at least one coach out there that would have said, "Hey, I don't like his attitude."
No one did.
Gio has to step up to the club level since his many injuries. PT has been limited, and he hasn't found footing since the 2022-23 season.
Correct. That's a good layout.
Yeah.
And I don't really think when you look at people who are maybe more casual, they really don't understand his injury history. And if you go to transfermarket.com, it is long. It is really, really, really long. So,
So I'll say she's not a casual. I don't think you're necessarily specifying her. Maybe you were lumping her in initially, but I don't think she's a casual, and she does follow. But she did specify that she never really was indicating that there was an attitude issue. So I said, sorry about the attitude issue. Was a jump to conclusion on my part based on interactions with people people talking about Gio's lack of PT. That's my bad.
Well, good for her, because I noticed when you said that and you wrote that, I'm like, I don't think she brought that up. But hey, you were just already ready for it. Right?
I assume. I assume. And I'm
ready for the whole attitude problem argument. I'm ready for it.
Copy and paste.
And we talk about this all the time, and we go through the litany of players, Americans whose managers absolutely destroyed them in the press. Well, we talk about Julian Green with Stuttgart, and we had a list, and we've done Conrad. We went through them before. Believe me, if you don't care, all right, and you show up, and your coach will at some point saying, well, the reasons he's not playing is he doesn't give his all. And what was the quote on Julian Green at Stuttgart? Oh, having Julian Green on the field is like playing with 10 players, is what he said in a presser. So, yes, coaches will call you out if you're not working hard and you're lazy. Yep. So it's not like somebody wouldn't have leaked that to the media that the big problem with Gio at Dortmund was his attitude. Oh, that would have come out at some point through some assistant coach or former player. By the way, all his former players love him. He's still close friends with Haaland. His best friend is Bellingham, who plays for Real Madrid.
Even Marco had a high praise of him as a player.
Royce. So please, people, he didn't have any problems with his team. So he had one argument with one player at the end of a game, a year ago. Come on.
Yeah.
Hummels. Yeah.
I don't think Hummels hates him.
No, I don't even think Hummels hates him. If you've never played soccer, then you won't know. On occasion, after a game's over, you will go walk over to somebody who didn't pass you the ball when they should have passed you the ball and let them know, hey, man, why didn't you pass me the ball? I was fucking wide open. What were you thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that shit happens after games. It just does. So, all right. I think aren't we done?
Nope. Eric chimed in on the whole Gio thing.
Oh, okay. Winalda, sometimes people like you need to concede that you do not know the whole story. In this case, may not even half. These are the kind of topics that aren't discussed openly. They give cryptic answers. They dodge the issue. Nothing's revealed. Just understand that when he says this isn't his fault, he's saying that from a place of truth. And indeed, Eric, you are right. And this is something that Doug totally missed. And maybe I should have held him to greater account for this yesterday or the day before, whenever I replied to that. But I wasn't willing to go back into the past. I just didn't want to deal with that. But the truth of the matter is, he's just saying, I'm not responsible for that whole media blow up bullshit, crazy ass, whack ass shit that went on for weeks. Weeks and weeks it went on. Okay?
Months.
That's not all my fault. I didn't do all that. And he's absolutely right. He didn't. Greg did as well. He played a role. His stupid ass parents played a role in that too. Mm-hmm. All right? And sorry, I love your dad, Gio, but he's a great American player, and it's probably more your mom. Otherwise, they should not have gotten involved at all. They fucked up. They kind of fucked you. And I'm sure you didn't call daddy and go, oh, you got to go after them. No, I doubt that's what happened. Okay? Yeah. He was in the middle of the World Cup. He didn't have time to do that, I'm sure. But I'm sure he didn't beg mom and dad to go tell the Federation about the fact that Greg beat up his current wife 20 or 30 years ago. I mean, of course, that's not what he wanted them to do. And he may not even have known about it. I'm sure he didn't even know about it.
That's the action of a spurned friend. Yes. And never mind you, I'm not saying who spurned who first, but it was clear retaliation to say basically keep my son's name out of your mouth, and the symposium happens.
Well, keep in mind it was Reyna's Gio Reyna's dad, who was the sporting director in, I think it was Austin or Houston. Austin. At the time, Berhalter got there. Berhalter's son got there. Sebastian got there. And they didn't want him. Okay? And they didn't play him. And they immediately shipped him off afterwards.
Worked out for him in the end, though.
It did work out for him now, yes. But as I understand it, Berhalter family was not very happy with Reyna for that. Reyna's dad.
Yeah, Robert says crazy when Ronaldo vex Gio. Ronaldo's good friends with Claudio, and
yes.
And Ronaldo even had insight during the World Cup issue that he posted, and then came back and apologized and said probably shouldn't have said this. This is more personal information that I probably should have kept behind closed doors. I'm paraphrasing, of course. That's not exactly what he said.
Well, the Reynas contacted him and said, "Please stop talking about this."
Yeah. So I mean, it's he backs Gio because I mean he's good. He's good friends with the family,
and
he has insight into what happened.
Yep, he had phone calls.
I'm sure Eric would be the first person to come out and say Gio shouldn't have acted the way he acted. I'm pretty much everybody was probably going to come out and say that.
No, I think he's taken responsibility for that on multiple occasions.
Oh, I agree. Yes,
and said I acted like a child. I was over emotional. Yes, he said it. He said it. All he's saying now is that whole blow up thing. I thought that shit was over after the World Cup. So don't blame me for all the shit that happened afterwards, because all that's not my fault by myself. I didn't do that by myself. So I think that's the context in which Doug is missing the point. Okay?
Well, I mean, from everybody else's standpoint, what he's missing or leaving out was the aspect of where Gio flat out states that he was pissed off because he wants to play for the team and help them out. And that somehow that little snippet would go against the concept of, well, this is a tone-deaf comment based off of Poker's team-first mentality. I mean, I guess what maybe, I don't know if Doug is saying that Gio should have just, accepted the bench role, happy, smiling, waiting for the bag of orange slices to come his way, But he's a young player, a young talented player who wants to play. Did he act out poorly? Absolutely.
Well, Jorge Castillo makes a good point, and I do agree with this. All Gio really had to say was, you know what? It's in the past. I don't want to talk about it.
Moving on.
Let's move on.
100% agree. 100% agree. We don't have to expand.
Jorge, you should be Gio's
publicist.
Publicist or assistant. Publicist a dude, because like that is indeed the correct answer.
Yeah,
to that
100%.
question. Yep. And then we wouldn't even be talking about this on the show. And then the show would have ended probably 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, like close to an hour ago. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. We love you guys. And thanks to the 196 of you who showed up on a Thursday night. I know Monday Night Football's on. I know that U.S. soccer is not going to heat up again until we get to the November window. And even then, I'm kind of worried.
Just around the corner.
I know, but all our guys aren't going to be there. So many injuries. We're going to see some weird shit in that roster.
Yeah.
And it could have effects that we don't like going forward. I would imagine we're going to see Berhalter back. I imagine we're going to see a lot more of the MLS guys back because of all of the fucking injuries going on right now.
Well, it's a funny thing because, I mean, Poach even talked about how, well, we won't be able to look at these players during the playoffs. So it'd be interesting to see if we see an Arfson, if we see, well, Columbus might be out of the playoffs by that point. If we see,
I think we will.
Or if we see a Roldan,
we will.
You know, so I'm just saying, it'll be interesting to see him go back against what he said for that September window. Oh, this is our last opportunity to take a look at them because these players are going to be in the playoffs, et cetera, et cetera.
I know Pete did his whole here's what's going to happen in November thing. I think it's a little early for that, but Pete, you know,
it's
good for you.
A couple weeks. We're talking a couple weeks.
I know. I think it's going to be announced on the 6th. I think the roster. Yeah, 6th or 7th of November. It's going to be announced. Oh no, it's Thursday Night Football, PMR. My bad. Did I say Monday Night Football? Anyhow, yeah. We could have a really interesting
November 15th, the game, first game, yeah.
So Zendejas is injured too. I thought he was back, but maybe he's not. I don't know. It could be a really weird roster, a very weird one. So I'm going to wait. Let's wait at least till next Thursday before we put one together, because I want to see if anybody that's injured now is coming back from injury. Jedi still, like, I heard this horrible thing, and I hope it's not true, from a Fulham fan that also follows us. Doesn't watch our shows because, you know, he's in bed.
Yeah.
By the time our show's on. But he said that the operation that Jedi had was a failure, and that there are like technical issues with the operation that didn't pan out, and that's why they're having to reassess his whole operation now. Like it was not a success, and they might have to go back in and redo it. God, I hope he's wrong. I hope he's fucking wrong, but that's what he's hearing.
Somebody mentioned in the chat while we were talking about something that he's it's tendon something. I forgot what the guy said. There you go. I don't know if this is it.
Could be. He didn't use that word with me, straight catnip, but he said something about what they did medically failed or was not a success, and so they need to go back in and reassess what they did.
When you do like knee surgeries and stuff like that, sometimes the ligaments or the tendons that you throw in there, they don't take.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I mean, I'm not an expert. I mean, I've had my own knee injuries, but so I can explain mine, but I don't know his specifics. So I don't want to get into that, but that was really bad news in my my private message.
Why would you get surgery done in England? They're only good doctors in England are dentists, apparently.
Yeah, I should have flown here. Maybe he did fly here, Brett. We haven't even looked into that, actually.
I don't know.
But not all surgeries are a success. I mean, just go ask Aaron Johansson. He accidentally.
Good thing it was just his left one, though.
His left prostate? You mean his left testicle? Yeah, I mean, ask Aaron Johansson about surgeries. I mean, he had, I believe at last count, at one point it was like 13 surgeries on his hips.
Left prostate. That's a self-defecating moment if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely self-defecating. All right, guys. For the almost 200 of you who showed up tonight, we do appreciate it. We will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. And until then, life's a charm.
That hurt.
Blowjobs are a no for me.
It is a skill. It is a practice skill. It is a necessary skill.
The secret to a great blowjob is saliva, saliva, saliva.
It's important for us to learn from this because I think we lose because we beat ourselves.
You need to swallow it too.
I don't understand the problem here.
The people don't understand esophagus is the main player of the game.
Try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You can start by licking the tip.
I didn't understand it, but
Patrick Agyemang to Bambi or a newborn giraffe or what.